do you mean screen is black? No, it's not. You lie. I'm looking at it right now. Bet you feel heckin' embarrassed, huh? Good morning, everyone. Well, no, it's not afternoon yet. It's 11. Screen is white. You people are lying. You people are lying. Good morning. I hope everyone who stayed up late with me last night was able to get up easily this morning. I was. Not to brag or anything. I have encountered a bit of a problem. The problem is, I found 2 different Dream SMP documentaries, and both of them look interesting in their own respect. If you were here last night, we were watching video essays. Well, we kind of did that all day, and I wanted to watch one on the Dream SMP because I watched one on the Q SMP and realized I knew absolutely nothing. And I barely even know enough about SMP Live. So maybe we'll just knock out all the SMPs and watch everything. But, I found 2. One of them is like animated and it's separated into different parts and it has millions of views. And another one is a girl who looks to be in her college dorm with photos taped to her wall style video. So clearly that person might know what they're talking about more, but I think the other video may be more stimulating. SMP Live more like. That is so true. That is so heckin' true. This playlist might be a little too chill, lo-fi beats. I was thinking about putting on the banjo and Kazooie song, you know, that, but I thought that would be a little bit too much for me to talk over. You're in classes right now? How's that going? What class? Where do you live? Sorry, I'm just kidding. I'm joking. Also, I realized I should have gone live even earlier than I did, because Josh will be streaming in a couple hours himself, and he's going to be streaming Skyblock, so naturally I'm going to want to watch that. So I'll probably end to make way for him in a couple hours, so we won't get through the whole thing, but we will make some pretty good progress. Twitch is not working for me on any device. Hope you have a good stream. Oh, Joseph, no! No! That is too bad. Actually had such a productive morning. I got up, I made myself a coffee, I ate half a slice of birthday cake, showered, did my makeup, did my hair, read a couple chapters of a book. It's your stinky, smelly Wi-Fi. Gross. Blech. I have Chad Wi-Fi. I have middle of the woods Wi-Fi. The weather is so bad today here. It's like the windiest I've ever seen it. I'm a little bit worried because I know that like tornadoes are going on. I don't live in a tornado state. I don't know if a tornado has ever been where I live, but it still makes me nervous. So what are we thinking? Are we thinking... It would probably help the case of my stream to have my face cam on. But meh. That would mean I have to put pants on. Le funny video essays, le epic. I don't know which one though, because there's 2. There's one that's animated and then there's one done by a professional. Oh, I don't know. I just can't decide. I'll show you what we're rocking with here. Here. This is what we're looking at. Rise and fall of Murray, baby. That's so true. Oh my gosh, it is all black. Oh wait, no. That's just because I haven't opened this. I'm a fool. Alright, there we go. So there's this one. Right? But then there's this one. So, you know, one looks a little different from the other. I don't know. I would honestly watch either. Dream is overdone. Do the other one. I'm sick of him. Well, this is what the Dream SMP is. This is the subject of the video we're watching. The topic at hand is the Dream SMP. I need to learn. Bird concern. Don't be concerned. We're having fun. I just don't know which one to pick. Because, like, all of this is a lot put together. Carl's story. Oh, I don't know. Both are Dream SMP. Bleh, animated one looks funner. Yeah, maybe we do this one, huh? Maybe we do this one and I play a little bit of Minecraft. Maybe I turn my face cam on at some point, huh? So we don't have to have live Tucker reaction. Maybe I'll find a pair of pants to put on. It does look funny. Yeah. Yeah, I'm seeing the picture. Sorry, Carl. This takes a lot of effort to do. Oh, fuck my Since pre-disc war. See, there's so many things that have happened. There's so many... SMP Live was just a jumble, wasn't it? They didn't do lore. Thank God, by the way. Thank goodness. The only lore I know is Josh's play about the Costco pretzel guy. Alright, I say I boot up my Gaming 3 that I did a little bit of off-stream grinding on. And we watch this. And I turn on my face cam later. Because I really don't feel like fiddling with that right about now. Come on, game. Stream the game. Oh, you can do it. You can do it, OBS. I know you're tired. Must capture Minecraft. You can do it. There we go. Yay. Can you imagine people tweet about C exclamation mark Josh? I don't know what that means. Early stream, yay. Hello, Synth. Alright, here we go. Oh wait, I better turn off my playlist on this one, huh? Okay. Is everybody ready? Is everybody excited? Okay, here we go.
Friendship and ruin. Across the life of the Dream SMP, these three truths have shaped the story into one of the most
we had Subway
treasured
Surfers. Shut up.
history. Spanning many months
I
and
built
including
this.
some of the most talented content creators in the community,
See?
the story has evolved well past that ever thought to come
I'm
from a
working.
Minecraft server. To truly understand the story, we must go back to the beginning. Today, I will take you on a journey through the early days of the server and tell the story of part 1 of the Dream SMP.
Can we have Family Guy funny moments? You people!
Really quick, this video took weeks to make,
I'm gonna-
so if you could take 1 second to subscribe,
Oh, wait, no.
it is completely free and it would make my day.
Nice.
Thank you.
Hello, Kaz
Also,
Luigi.
thanks to
Oh,
Lord
the
Cantor for letting
art.
me use his
That is
recreation of
correct.
Dream SMP for this
The
video.
artist.
If you want to see how he managed to rebuild the server block for block, go check
Gonna
out his
do
channel
that.
in the top link of the description. Anyway, let's start from the beginning.
Oh wait, no. I don't want to do that because you can see that.
Day 1.
Here we
Dream
go.
SMP. A time before war, before nations, before death. A much simpler time than what we know today.
Hi.
A time
Welcome.
of peace.
A time of peace.
On April
oh my
25th,
goodness. This is
Dream
serious.
and George created what has grown into one of the most influential Minecraft
looks
servers ever. But to them, it was just a normal survival
That does
world.
not look good.
A few months prior, on February 5th, Minecraft released their first snapshot of
I'll fix that
1.16,
later.
the Nether update. Because of Dream's focus on his channel, as well as his speedrunning grind
Let me
that
see,
started
how do I get
shortly
up there?
after, Dream had not had time to truly explore the new update. This world finally gave him a chance to do so. During their first stream, Dream and George intended just to play the game. No speedrunning, no Minecraft manhunt, just plain old survival. And that's exactly what they did. After
put
making a
it-
portal, Dream and George explored the new biomes and structures added to the game. After a long journey through the Nether,
make it.
the two decided to head
I could
back.
not make it.
After dying in the Nether, the two journeyed back to gather. They finally were able to find their stuff and escape.
Poop.
Yeah, they lost all their
Yeah,
stuff.
that just happened.
Later, they finally were able to
Two
explore
Minecrafts
the
at once?
bastion
I know,
with
right?
No problems,
Is that
and
too
by
much?
the end of the stream, things were looking good. Soon after the beginning of the SMP, its first members other than Dream and George were added. These included Sapnap, the third member of the Dream team, as
Yo.
well as their close friends It's Alyssa and Awesome Dude.
Who?
Over the next streams, the five were able to develop the world considerably.
Okay.
One of these projects included the
Hello.
centerpiece of the SMP
Welcome.
and oldest building
Oh, is
on the
this loud
server,
enough, by the way?
the Community House. Located in the middle of the lake, the Community House,
That is
as well as the
ugly.
paths branching off of it, still stands today as a hub for travel across the
That
main
looks
server.
better. Yeah.
A few other notable builds include the Community Nether Portal, which also remains a
Okay,
very
it'll go
important
here.
location today, and the Courthouse, which is pretty self-explanatory. The server was growing, and along with it, the player base grew too. Before long, two new members have been added to the
Oh
server,
wait, no. I don't go
Punk
like that.
and Bad Boy Halo. Although Bad Boy Halo was a neutral force during the early days of the server, his presence would be felt much more later in the story.
That.
Punk, on the other hand, got to work right away building his
That.
first giant lemon tree. He also began trapping people's bases. He started this with George. In an act of revenge for the trap, George decided to burn down the entirety of Punk's lemon tree, prompting him to build another one farther down the path.
How do people play
But
Minecraft and have
little
no
did he
idea how to
know,
build? To be
this
fair, he is
second
a
tree,
speedrunner, I believe.
Along with his careless
So that's a
actions
different
of
set of
setting
skills.
traps in people's bases, would drive the server to chaos, causing the first war.
Ow.
But before that happened, another player was added to the server. The most important addition yet.
Jay Schlatt.
This player was Tommy Innit.
Oh. Sorry.
Tommy Innit was an up-and-coming creator who knew how to start drama. After his channel saw early success from Hypixel Skyblock, he was invited to join the new creator server, SMP Earth.
Oh,
Holding
not
over 60
SMP Earth.
creators, many with millions of subscribers, this was a huge opportunity for Tommy. And he did not hesitate to try to fight all of them. He entered the Dream SMP with the same goal. Coming off the recently
What the
ending
heck? Why do I have
SMP
all
Earth,
these?
Tommy was ready for more fighting. And on his first day, he got straight to work. July 4th. After hours of streaming, Tommy gets a completely out of the blue message from Dream inviting him to the SMP. Joining without hesitation, Tommy immediately set out to do one thing: annoy
Gosh, chaos.
everyone. He quickly became a problem, stealing from chests and killing George repeatedly. This resulted in him being taken to jail within about 20 minutes of joining the server. A record that stands to this day. After pulling an epic gamer move and escaping, he continued to destroy
Oh,
things.
Tommy.
This
Uh-oh.
resulted
Oh,
in
no.
Dream teleporting him far away from spawn, banishing him temporarily.
Ay.
However, Tommy was not going to let this stop him from annoying them. Coming back by dying, Dream kept having to teleport.
Okay, let's see.
This went on for a few minutes before Tommy Innit had become the first player to be banned on the server. One Twitter block later, and Tommy was back. This
Let me
time,
see.
he would follow the rules. Well, kinda.
Well,
After causing a bit
scratches
more
back of head.
damage and claiming everything he could see as his property, Tommy decided to end his stream. His actions on the first day of the server would only be the beginning, as he would be streaming nearly every day
How should I
on the
do
SMP.
this? Oh, I don't know how
2
to
days
do
later,
this.
the first war on the Dream SMP began.
I'll hollow this out first.
It all started when Tommy decided to build his house in a hill directly next to Punk's giant lemon tree. Tommy being Tommy, they almost immediately began fighting over land. This resulted in Punk killing Tommy and also trapping his house. Following the trolling of his house, Sapnap sought revenge. And he was
Sought
able to get
revenge,
it by
not
burning
seeked.
down most of
Thank you
Punk's lemon
kindly.
tree.
Eeh.
Enraged
Tommy
by his
looks the
actions,
exact same now.
Punk teamed up with It's
I guess you are right, but he is still really young when you think
They
about it.
then burned down his entire house.
No!
They had crossed the line.
No!
Sapnap knew he had to put an end to this, but he couldn't do it alone. Though it took some convincing, Sapnap was able to get Tommy on his side.
Tommy's just freaking
and
mean.
together,
That's what
they
I'm
would kill
collecting right
Punk
now.
And Alyssa.
He's like the Yahi of this
Until,
server.
in the middle of their fight, Dream logged on.
Dream!
Dream, the creator of the world, and so far the only one to stop Tommy's fits of destruction, had had enough. He had created the server to be a place to escape conflict, to work together, to create, and to have fun. And war had no place there. After watching the server begin to spiral into chaos, Dream decided to
Can we get
step
some
in
Gogi
and
emotes?
stop the
Apparently
fight.
Gogi did some pretty
he
uncool
quickly
stuff, so I
discovered
won't
he
be
was very
adding
And within seconds,
adding that.
Tommy and Sapnap had killed him as well.
Oh, I think I know
The
what I
fighting
should do for the...
escalated once
yeah.
again, and soon nearly the entire server was involved in the conflict.
Oops.
Together, Sapnap and Tommy wiped out everyone standing in their way, even forcing Dream
Let's
to
try.
log out temporarily. That was until something happened that turned the
Maybe-
tides of the battle. Dream had stolen Tommy's most prized possessions on the server, his music discs.
I could do like
Tommy had
this.
spent hours finding these discs and was not about to let that time go to waste.
And then it could go
He
into the
had
wall.
to get them back.
Like
Because
that.
Tommy and Sapnap were allies, Sapnap decided to help Tommy steal the discs back from Dream. Dream then joined the call and told Tommy that because he had proven to be untrustworthy, he would not be getting his discs back. And if he
Let me
decided to start any conflict
That looks
again,
good.
the discs would be burned.
Oh, I should make a
While
button.
this was happening, Sapnap began looking for where Dream had hidden the discs. And a few minutes later, he found one.
Oh, wait.
Running from Dream, who followed close behind, Sapnap passed the disc to Tommy, who then ran to his base, entered his mine, and hid the disc in a ravine. With Dream close behind, Tommy then faked hiding the disc in a completely different part of the ravine, distracting him long enough for Tommy to come up with a plan. The plan that would get his other music disc back from Dream and win him the first battle. But him and Sapnap couldn't do it alone. They needed someone else. And Tommy knew just the guy for the job.
Jay Schlatt. Am I right? Did I get
Tubbo
it?
and Tommy had been
Oh,
friends
no, okay.
since the beginning.
I'm just
They
gonna
met
keep
when
guessing.
Tubbo had been streaming on 0 viewers for almost a year, and Tommy rated him
Chubbo!
with 20.
Chubbo and Chummy!
Later on Discord, the two started talking.
I don't think I
Before
know a
long,
single
they
thing about
began
Tubbo, if I'm
streaming
being
together.
honest.
Throughout the Hypixel Skyblock phase and SMP Earth, Tubbo was there, scamming, fighting, and laughing his way to victory alongside Tommy. Tubbo was a wholesome presence in contrast to
Wholesome!
Tommy and preserved the lightheartedness
Sorry.
found in the early days
I'm
of the
being
server.
annoying.
Joining just a few days after Tommy, Tubbo quickly established himself as a force of good. Despite them being nearly opposites, the two unlikely friends fought together during every battle in the early days of the SMP. It was
Ooh,
Tommy and Tubbo versus the world.
Hello, Tab
So when
Guyver.
Tommy and Sapnap needed some backup, he knew Tubbo would be there.
Follower
Together,
goal
the
met.
three of them plotted to take down
Yay!
Dream
I didn't know I had a
and take
follower
back
goal.
Tommy's second disc.
Yay! Thank you, everybody.
Tommy's plan was simple. Surround Dream and all three attack him with axes to do the maximum damage possible. He hoped this would give them at least a
now I need
chance
to
of
just
killing
build it
Dream,
back.
and since Tommy knew Dream had the disc in his inventory, this was their only chance
Okay.
of getting it back.
But
As the
there's gonna
fighting
be
began,
more.
things were not looking good.
So
After
maybe don't
dying,
do that yet.
Tommy and Sapnap brought
Okay,
a bed
I have
down
an
to the
idea.
ravine and set their spawn point nearby. The three then regrouped for one final ambush on Dream,
This is so dramatic.
but he
I had no
found
idea.
them first. After Sapnap was killed, it was all up to Tommy and Tubbo to finish the job. Using gravel as a blockade, the two began to chip away at Dream's health. Tommy got a few good hits before falling to Dream, leaving it all up to Tubbo.
Come on, Chubbo!
And as Dream was retreating to heal, Tubbo chased him down, managing to kill him. They had
Let's
done
go,
it.
Chubbo!
Together, the team had managed
Sorry.
to take down the most powerful man on the server, and Tommy's most prized possessions were back in his hands. After a quick celebration, Tommy decided it would be best to hide
Man,
the
I don't know
discs
how
in the
content
chest
creation
off
works
camera
because I
so
just thought
Dream
to myself, I
couldn't
was like,
steal
hey,
them
why
when
didn't
he
you
was
just go
offline.
on the server when Dream wasn't there and grab
But
them?
he quickly realized that Dream
Yeah, that
would
would've been
not
fun to
give
watch.
up that easily. Sure, Tommy had won the battle, but the war was far from over.
Ah.
A few days after Tommy joined the SMP, Tubbo was not the only new member to be added. Three more of their friends, Purpled, Fundy,
Jay Schlatt?
and Puns,
Nope.
were whitelisted as well. The SMP was now beginning to flourish. New players meant new development, and from this point forward,
Oh,
the server
hey.
really started to take shape.
Get out of here.
The first major build was Purple's UFO.
Get out.
Lying fairly close to the community house
Get
in
out.
the same direction as Tommy's base, the
Why
UFO
didn't you just go
was
into
one of the
creative mode
better-looking
and get as
builds
many
for
discs
quite a
as you
while.
wanted? Is
A
he
socializing
stupid?
club was also constructed for resolving an issue that later arose
actually have a
between Fundy,
three-head.
Purple, and Tubbo. Finally, both Fundy and Dream created secret bases underground. These new builds, along with the arising storyline of the Disc Saga and other conflicts on the server,
The Disc
helped the Dream
Saga.
SMP quickly gain popularity on YouTube and Twitch.
Put this here.
And as development continued in the world, so did it in the
Oops.
battle for the discs.
Or
On
wait.
July 10th,
Oh,
one
yeah,
day
that's different.
after his previous battle with Dream, Tommy logged on to the SMP, only to see that Dream had torn apart all of the land surrounding his base looking for the discs.
Why were they so mean?
He found them. He was able to do this because when Tommy was hiding the discs off camera, he left his game sounds on. This allowed Dream to get an idea of where he had hidden them based on analyzing when he took fall damage and what blocks he
This is
mined
kind of
before placing the chest.
five-head move.
The discs
They aren't
had
using
been
Josh
lost
rules. What is
once
Josh
again.
rules?
And this time, Dream would not let them back so easily. Tommy's first plan was to
Oh
bargain
my
with Dream,
goodness, my neck hurts.
but that quickly went downhill when Tubbo pointed out that the only thing Tommy had of value was his netherite chestplate. After their genius idea of setting an ultimatum was shut down by Dream walking out of the building, Dream threatened to burn Tommy's discs if he didn't give him the netherite chestplate within 20 minutes.
No, my
This left
discs.
only one reasonable solution. One way for
Oh, I
Tommy
know.
to get his discs back once and for all. Him and Tubbo would try and portal trap Dream and kill him with beds.
What is portal
Why
trap?
did they actually think that would work? He literally just said he doesn't have the discs in his inventory. This plan was absolutely foolproof. There was no way it wouldn't work. Oh, okay. Knowing Dream knew their plan, Tommy and Tubbo were sure he had trapped the portal on the other side.
Didn't
Lucky
watch
for
yesterday's
Tommy,
Josh stream.
he
Any
had ender pearls
cheats were
and was
used.
able
Were
to
they? I
escape.
didn't know.
Tubbo, on the other hand, was slain by Dream. And somehow, Tommy died as well. Their plan was not going too well. They had already both died and had made no more progress towards recovering the discs.
Like that?
They then met peacefully with Dream, who decided to give Tommy one last chance to trade his chest plate for the discs. Tommy convinced Dream to give him 10 more minutes to think about it, buying him time to think of another plan. This time, Tommy's plan was different. It was literally the exact same plan. After yet another failed negotiation, an opportunity arose for one of the discs to be stolen. Dream, after taking out both Tommy and Tubbo multiple times, was feeling very confident. Because of this, he decided it would be funny to taunt them by playing the disc. But Tommy and Tubbo were ready. After playing it again higher up so they couldn't steal it, Dream began to build a blockade next to the jukebox. But Tubbo managed to slip through, ejecting the disc from the jukebox and taking it.
So did he like act all of this out to film it?
But eventually,
because that's
Dream
crazy
killed both of
dedication if
them
he did.
and took it back again. In the words of Tommy, they had a glimpse at freedom. But the battle continued. Building higher and higher, Dream continued to
This is
taunt
way
Tommy
too dramatic
with
to be
his discs,
Minecraft, dude.
holding them just out of reach.
I'm on the edge of
Until
my freaking
Dream was
seat.
distracted
Just
by
in the
Tubbo,
house. Hello.
allowing Tommy to drop in from above and steal the disc back. Knowing it wouldn't be safe in the skies,
He must
Tommy
be
dropped
very
the
good at
disc down to
improv. Right,
Tubbo.
there is a level that you have to
However,
like.
Tubbo was not able to find it before Dream
Yeah, for all this
realized what
to work.
happened and took back the disc once again.
Okay.
Twice now, the two had been incredibly close to victory, only to have the disc
There we go.
slip away at the last second. The fighting continued, but ultimately led nowhere. And so, Tommy and Tubbo decided to take the trade. Tommy's netherite chestplate for the discs. As they prepared for the trade, Tommy thought back to the days of Skyblock. He was the king of scamming. Surely there was a way to beat Dream. Take back the discs while keeping his chestplate as well. Then, he remembered Tubbo, who had been by his side the entire time. They both knew exactly what to do.
Then
As
he
Dream
suddenly
dropped
remembered
the
this guy
discs.
who had been with him the whole time.
And Tommy dropped the chestplate. Tubbo made a break for the discs. By the time Dream realized what was happening, it was too late.
No.
Tubbo had
Oh wait,
grabbed
I mean,
both of the
yay!
discs
I don't
and
know who I'm
logged
rooting
out.
for.
It was a
It's
race for the
snowing.
chestplate,
Look.
but Tommy won, managing to disconnect after picking it up. All that was left was Dream. Alone in the ruins of a battle he'd thought he'd won, with nothing.
No.
Or so they
I mean,
thought.
yay! I don't know.
Unbeknownst to Tommy and Tubbo, Dream had not dropped the real discs. The ones he traded were fakes.
How are they fake?
The finale of the disc saga took place the next day. As Tommy logged on, still holding the netherite chestplate, he looked around for a bit, then went to find Tubbo. But Tubbo had his own problems to deal with. After conflict arose between Fundy, Purpled, and Tubbo, they decided to settle their affairs in the socializing club.
Is he just not
During
going to
their
explain how the discs are
conversation,
fake? Yeah,
Tommy
like were they
burst
all
through the
CAD or
door,
something?
asking for Tubbo's help to finish the war. But war would have to wait. As in the socializing
gonna
club, there are no weapons and no fighting allowed for any reason. So they moved outside. After that encounter, Tommy and Tubbo moved forward with their plan to find the discs. And Tommy knew exactly how they would do it. He believed that the discs were hidden in Dream's secret base, but he had no idea where it was. So with Tubbo's help, Tommy would use an exploit to see through walls and find it. The plan
That's
worked,
cheating,
and
Chubby!
within minutes, they had broken into the base. But once again, this wouldn't be the end. The discs weren't there. Confused, Tommy and Tubbo asked around to see if anyone knew where the discs were. But they were out of luck. Until Dream logged on to the server. After some more negotiation, including a stack of diamonds the two had stolen from Dream, they once again agreed to trade the netherite chestplate for the discs. This time, there was no scamming.
I'm not
And
sure
just
what
like
to
that,
do to make the sides
The
of the
music
houses.
discs were back in the hands of Tommy.
I could do window,
Together,
window.
Tommy and Tubbo
Or I could just
had
go
won
across.
the war. And to celebrate, the two sat on a bench near Tommy's house and listened to one of the discs. Overlooking the land, they thought about what they'd accomplished. Until a sudden realization hit. They had gotten the discs before. But it didn't matter. Anyone could take them at any time.
Slopped and fucking
There was only
greased
one
cheese
safe
and
place in the
bacon.
entire server
Thank you
that
for
would
the
be
sub.
Corn
of
dogs,
anyone
all
stealing the
drenched in
discs.
fucking mayonnaise.
An ender chest.
Enjoy
But
my
as far
sub
as they knew,
sound.
no ender chests had been made yet. So the two would have to quickly gather the materials and make their own.
They thought
before
about what they
someone tried to
accomplished.
steal the discs.
In
If
Minecraft.
you don't know,
The
an
video
ender chest
game.
is crafted with an eye of ender surrounded by obsidian blocks. So all in all, they would need 8 obsidian, 1 blaze powder,
Beep.
and 1 ender pearl.
Bop.
They started by asking around for blaze rods. After Fundy wasn't interested,
look
they
good?
went to talk to Puns, who, despite
could do
having
the
his
stone on the
lawn
bottom?
griefed by the build battle the day before, and Tommy stealing some golden apples, agreed to supply them with a blaze rod and an ender pearl in exchange for an apple. But as Tommy got the apple and began making his way to Puns, Dream began to attack.
No!
Upon hearing their plans to seal the discs
Wait, no,
away in
I'll
an
do a
ender
back
chest,
one.
Dream knew if he wanted to stay in control, he had to stop them. Tommy quickly traded for the blaze rod and pearl, immediately running away as Dream began his pursuit. Tommy and Tubbo had to think of a plan, and quick.
I'm not sure what to do here.
Dream is no stranger to chases, and Tommy knew he was living on borrowed time. Still needing 8 obsidian to craft the chest,
I need to
Tommy
get this
had
out
an
of here.
idea. If Tubbo could distract Dream for just a minute or two, Tommy could rush
Oh,
over
wait,
to
no,
the
I don't,
community
because I
nether
still need to
portal
build the
and break
fireplace.
enough obsidian to craft the chest. As Tommy made his way to the portal and began mining, Tubbo followed Dream, telling Tommy exactly where they were. 1,
Beep.
2, 3. Tommy had almost gotten half the obsidian they needed when Dream started shooting at him from a nearby watchtower. Barely alive
Sub
with
sound
one
was
heart,
beautiful. Thank
just a
you.
single
I,
arrow could end the dream.
What can I say? I knew what I
Securing the
wanted.
discs. Tubbo made his way to Tommy,
I made it
covering
happen.
him and supplying
And by made it
food.
happen, I mean I asked someone to
4,
do it for me.
5. Dream made his way to the portal, Tubbo
Oh,
only
that's not
managing to
gonna
stall a few
work.
seconds. The two ran, taking
I'm gonna have
refuge
to
in
put
the
that down
community
one.
house and blocking off the doors.
Because that's just gonna look silly.
Tubbo stayed on the ground floor, sacrificing his life and buying Tommy just enough time to escape from the roof. 6, 7. They were so close.
This is
All
hype.
that stood between
Not
them
gonna
and
lie.
freedom was a green man and a single piece of obsidian. Dream chased Tommy. A relentless storm of arrows following Tommy's every step.
Okay.
He
That goes
couldn't
down
do
like
it.
this, and
If he
glass
stops
will go
running,
across.
Dream kills him. If he keeps running for long, he loses his sprint and Dream
I could
kills
go
him.
down.
There was nothing Tommy could do. But he didn't have to do anything. He
I'm thinking.
had Tubbo. Tubbo remembered he had a piece of obsidian at his house and ran
Am I
there
thinking of doing
immediately.
YouTube content?
Now,
I'm just
Tommy
happy
was the one
streaming
stalled.
for right now. I don't think I'll
As
make any
Tubbo grabbed
videos
the
yet.
obsidian, he went out
I'm
back
enjoying
and saw
this.
Tommy loop around towards the back of his
My
house.
favorite thing is talking to
Tubbo
people
then
and
dropped the obsidian,
looking
as well
at
as some
chat,
food,
and with
and
YouTube,
stalled Dream
I don't really
just
wanna
long
make
enough
content,
for
you
Tommy
know.
to craft the ender chest and lock away
oh,
the
I
discs
can't
for good.
decide what to do with that. But look at how pretty the snow
Together.
is, huh?
Against all odds, the two friends managed to save Tommy's most prized possessions from
How
the
should I
wrath
make the
of
sides
Dream.
of these houses?
With this,
I'm
the
at a
disc
loss.
saga was over. At least for now. And the server was at peace once again. The next 2 weeks would be the most peaceful
build
the
it out a
server had
bit.
ever seen since Tommy joined.
Oops.
With the end of the first major war, it seemed everyone needed a break from the chaos. But
And then if I
soon,
did the
a
same
new player would
here-
be added to the SMP. A
Because this is
player
supposed to be the
that would
big one.
completely change the nature of the server. A storyteller. A mastermind of words. his ideas growing to define the server and made the story something people would remember. And July 24th, just 20 days after Tommy joined, one moment changed the course
What happened?
of the server forever.
Yeah, a little detail there. That could work, huh? What's up? Oh, did I say a bad word? Irma, awkward. Did I say
Thank
something
you all
bad?
so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't.
Oh,
already,
Wilbur.
so you
Oh.
get notified when part 2 comes
Oh my
out.
gosh.
Make sure to go subscribe to my second channel as well, as I will be posting a Q&A sometime soon. Comment down below your thoughts on the video and what you think could be better. Anyway,
I got
hope you
scared
all
that I,
have an
like,
amazing rest of your day, and I will see
subconsciously
you all
said something
in the
horrendous.
next video.
Okay, this can come
Independence
out
or
like
death.
that, maybe.
Following the events of the
Go like,
first war
"Bleh."
in the Dream SMP, tension between Dream
And then I
and
could just
Tommy and
keep
Tubbo
doing
did
that,
not go
maybe?
away. Having been the only people to stand up to Dream, Tommy and Tubbo were not exactly friends with the most powerful man on the server. But they couldn't fight back. They didn't have the resources, the people, or the will
Oh, I just
to
don't
start
know.
another battle. Until a new player joined, who would change everything.
Is this gonna be my
Today,
podcast
will
while I
tell
drive? Have a
story.
good stream? Drive
Story
safely,
of
please.
independence. A story of a people who rose up against tyranny. A story of revolution.
That's a cool thing to think about. Somebody's listening to
This
me while they
Is
drive.
part 2 of the story of the Dream SMP. Really quick,
This is the
video
Genshin
took
Impact
weeks
intro.
to make, so if you could take 1 second to subscribe, it is completely free and it would
Oh, wait,
make
no, it's
my
not.
day. Thank you. Also, thanks again to Lord Cantor
Oh, wait,
for
maybe
letting
it
me
is.
use his recreation of the Dream SMP for
Ow.
this video. Make sure to go check out his channel if you're interested in seeing how
Oh,
he did it.
I'm at a
Again,
loss.
the link is in the description.
Make an illegal U-turn.
Anyway,
No.
Let's start from the beginning.
Oh.
Wilbur Soot,
Uh-oh.
a songwriter,
Uh.
comedic genius, and visionary, coming up with some of the most influential ideas in recent Minecraft history. Wilbur is a mastermind of virality.
Yeah.
Creating his first video on March 29th, 2019, and
He's
using
a-
his
he's a mastermind of a
experience
couple
from his
other
time with
things
the
I've
channel
heard as
Soot
well.
House, Wilbur, in just under 2 years, has amassed over 3 million subscribers. So when it was announced that he would be joining the Dream SMP, people knew things would change. But no one expected how much it really would.
This whole episode
Being a
is about
cheat-
Wilbur, by the way. No, it's the L'Manberg Revolution.
Genius of words and stories, Wilbur brought something to the table that
Manberg.
no one had really considered. Tommy had a rough idea of how the Disc Saga would go, but for the next story, Wilbur would take it a step further. The introduction of Wilbur marked a turning point in the SMP, from a jumbled mess of conflict to something more. From this point on, the story of the SMP would be planned out, for the most part, before it happened. Scripted improvisation. And Wilbur, the main writer, began his story the day he logged on.
They're playing his music in the
This
background.
marked the true
Yeesh, tugs at
beginning
collar.
of the storyline of the
I
Dream
guess I'll just have to
SMP.
pull this back a ways, won't I?
Wilbur saw an opportunity in the Dream
There's
SMP.
nothing else I can really do.
Not an opportunity for power or an opportunity for war, but an opportunity for business.
Yeah, I don't know if this can work.
And on July 24th, he logged on to the SMP and began moving forward.
Ow.
He started by building a caravan, Camar van, the base of operations for his business. After this, he went to recruit his first business partner,
Oops.
Tommy Innit.
That's fine.
He then explained his master plan for their business.
I made a pickaxe
After
instead of
tricking the
a
rest of the
axe.
SMP members into giving up all of their blaze rods and brewing stands, Tommy and Wilbur would be able to produce all
Gotta
of the
work,
potions on the server,
not use data.
profiting
Goodbye.
from the newfound
Thank
rarity
you,
of these
Joseph.
potions.
Have fun.
Agreeing without hesitation,
That's why you never build
Tommy
without a
joined
blueprint.
Wilbur, and
I
together
know.
they began sweeping the server,
Sigh. I wanted to be
convincing players
creative.
to give up their brewing stands and blaze rods. They started with Tubbo. Tubbo, who trusted Tommy and Wilbur, fell victim to the scam. giving his brewing stands and water breathing potions. That being said, not everyone was convinced. One man saw right through their plan. Sapnap.
Jay Schla. Oh, okay.
As Tubbo attempted to give up a stack of blaze rods to the new business partners, Sapnap punched Tommy out of the way,
maybe I should just start
taking
on the
them
floor.
for himself.
That'll go better for
With
me.
further suspicion of their operation, Sapnap followed Tommy and Wilbur back to their van, taking it upon himself to investigate. Entering the truck,
Monster.
Sapnap, against the will of Wilbur and Tommy, began
Ow.
looking around. And it only took him a few seconds to enter the back of the truck and find their brewing stands, thus exposing their plans of scamming the server into giving up all of their potion-making supplies. With their backs against the wall, the duo attempted to enlist the help of Fundy. Their plan to get Fundy on their side was to frame Sapnap as the bad guy. They then proceeded to hide the evidence of their plans from Fundy, who then decided to join them. After this, Sapnap had had enough. Attempting to arrest Wilbur and Tommy, Sapnap ended up killing Tommy purely for taunting him. This prompted Tubbo, who was on the side of Sapnap after being scammed by Tommy and
could
Wilbur,
do
to reconsider
one-
his position.
And then go like that.
But although his loyalty to Sapnap wavered, for now, he remained on the side of the law.
I'm starting to see
There
what I
was
did wrong
nothing the
here.
three could do. Being completely
Starting to get a
out-geared,
glimpse.
Wilbur, Tommy, and Fundy retreated to the van. And right as they thought things couldn't get any worse, they did. As
Let
it
me
turns
see.
out, Tommy had some unfinished business with Punk, having stolen from him once again.
Because I'm
And
gonna have
as
to
the
put
team
glass
retreated to
here.
the van,
Yeah.
Purple
Okay,
and Punk
I get it.
came
I
to
see what I did
confront
wrong now.
Tommy. Things were not looking good for the new business, and if the team wanted a chance to escape, they had to think of something fast. And quickly, a plan began to form. Wilbur walked out of the van, stalling Purple and Punk just long enough for
Who's
Tommy
Purpled?
to escape
Ow.
through the floor of the van into a cave. Shortly after, the two noticed and began to pursue him. Wilbur, confronted only by Tubbo, logged out of the game to buy some more time. Lastly, Fundy stayed in the caravan, along with Tubbo and Eric, another member of the SMP who had recently joined.
Nyeh.
The guards stood, awaiting Wilbur to rejoin. Meanwhile, the pursuit
Was
of Tommy
Dream
continued.
SMP as big,
And
like,
before
people-wise
long,
as SMP
They
Live
had
was?
found him. Surrounded, Tommy
Okay.
surrendered, being escorted to jail on half a heart. With the news of Tommy being captured, one of the guards, Tubbo, began escorting
The good
Fundy to
news.
jail as well for conspiring to help Wilbur and Tommy. All that remained in the van
Oh
was
wait, no.
Eric,
That's definitely not what
the
goes
final
there.
guard standing between Wilbur and freedom. But in a surprising turn
I think it
of
was more
events,
popular, actually.
Eric
More
betrayed
people
the
were
other
on it.
guards,
I feel like there were
choosing to
tons
help
of
the
people on
enemy
SMP
instead.
Live.
And just like that, Eric was an ally of the business. Knowing he was safe, Wilbur logged back in and conspired with Eric to free Fundy and Tommy.
Conspired.
Their plan to free Fundy was easy as he was still being escorted by Tubbo. Eric would convince Tubbo to let him finish the escorting of Fundy to court, where he would then bring Fundy to his house, allowing him to plant Wilbur the ingredients for an invisibility potion. And the plan would have worked. But when
it
Fundy
wasn't
and
for them
Eric reached
meddling
Fundy's
kids.
house, Purpled was there. Little did they know he had been spying on them in their voice call the whole time and knew Eric had betrayed them. He then quickly informed Sapnap of the news and requested him to come to Fundy's base as backup. While Sapnap was leaving for Fundy's base, he left Punk in charge of watching Tommy. As the two sat in the courthouse, they began to talk. And before long, Tommy had convinced Punk to help him escape. Tommy's plan was to have Punk draw the guards back to the courthouse and escape through a hole he dug in the back of his cell. This was perfect timing for Sapnap and Purpled, as Sapnap had just arrived at Fundy's base and the two guards began escorting Fundy and Eric to court. Tubbo, meanwhile, traveled back to the van to keep an eye on Wilbur. After Wilbur transformed the van from the potion brewing station it was to a hot dog van, Tubbo, with Wilbur's permission, investigated. Finding nothing out of the ordinary, Tubbo provided compensation of 10 gold for the disturbances
SMP
they
Live had more
caused
people,
earlier.
but Dream SMP had more
And
publicity.
gold
Yeah,
was one of the
I knew
main
Dream
materials
Dream
needed
SMP
to
was
make
more
the
popular, but
invisibility potion.
I just feel like there were so
The
many
plan
people on
was
SMP
beginning to
Live.
fall into place. Although it had hit some rough patches, there was still a solid chance
I should have
of
followed the
prisoners
tutorial.
escaping. And as the guards escorted Fundy and Eret back to court, Wilbur continued gathering the resources for the potions. Before long, the trial
I
had
could put
started and
flowers
they
there,
were
huh?
running out of time to escape. Ponk had been figured out and was thrown in jail with Tommy, and Purple went off looking for Wilbur, who had just began brewing.
Where's my
With
dirt?
Purple gone and Wilbur about to
Have
be
I not any
compromised,
dirt?
all 4 of the prisoners dug out of their cells and ran. Everyone was on the run. After some fighting, everyone decided it would be best to meet back at the van. And as they were coming back, Tubbo and Wilbur began to talk. After explaining his plans to Tubbo and talking of the injustice they had done to him and his accomplices, Tubbo
The glass ray skin is
decided
so
to
good.
join his side.
I don't really remember what
just
it
like
used to
that,
look like.
With
I'm
everyone
being
safe in the
honest.
van and a new member on their side, the businessmen had been through enough. They knew that the
Wait,
next
not
time they
there.
logged on, they had to fight back. And Wilbur had an idea. One that would send the server into further chaos and begin one of the most famous stories on the SMP.
That could be cute,
The
huh?
team would no longer be businessmen.
That'd be nice.
They would be citizens of a new nation. They would begin a revolution.
L'Manberg!
Before we continue, I'd like to give a quick thanks to this video's sponsor, the Archon. If you don't already know, the Archon is one of the most
Stop it!
the video.
Use his code or whatever.
1 week passed before their country was officially born. In that
Had a
week,
lot of lines
as
in the
well
middle?
as the
Oh,
time before
gotcha.
Wilbur joined, a lot had changed on the server. New players and new builds. During the time of peace after the First War, 2 new players joined
There we
the
go.
server. These players were Skeppy and Eret. For the most part, Skeppy did not play a major role in the story other than burning a new disc Tommy had gathered after the First War. Eret, on the other hand, did, and would play a major role in the new nation of L'Manberg,
That one
at
grew
least
already.
for a little while. The new builds included a sewer system that led to many areas
That
of the
looks pretty
server,
good, huh?
Eret's castle, which eventually housed the throne for whoever held the title of King of the
Now
Dream
I've just got to
SMP,
figure out how to do this.
a jungle
Looked up how many
base
women
built
were on the
far away by
SMP, and the
Tubbo,
first result was
and
a
few
fish.
new towers here
Well, they
and
said
there.
they had that Alyssa girl,
Bit by
but
bit,
I never
development continued on the
heard
server
anything else about her.
until the day L'Manberg was born. This day marked the beginning of a new era in the Dream SMP, an era of independence.
I really should have used a video to
3
go along with this.
days.
I'm struggling.
That's how long the war would last. In 3 days, the fate of their nation would be decided, and the wills of the men, and Tommy, who created it, would be tested beyond their limits. But before they could begin a revolution, their great nation needed a name. And Tommy had just the idea.
Wilbur, I've had the idea. I've had the idea.
Oh, I have a lot
Oh
of
my
here we go.
god.
Manberg, or alternatively, Mantopia.
I like Mantopia.
Yeah?
How do we we
What?
make it European? L'Manberg.
L'Manberg. Yeah, that's funny.
L'Manberg.
L'Manberg. Where do you live? I live in the state of L'Manberg.
After the name was decided,
That's
the fellow
it? That was
citizens
the
began
lore?
to build a wall to distinguish their land
Mantopia or
from the greater
L'Manberg?
Dream
Ah,
SMP.
L'Manberg. And thus,
In their new
L'Manberg
nation,
was born.
anyone could be allowed to make potions without being arrested, and the tyranny of Dream
Like,
and his
really
fellow Americans would no
anticlimactic, if I
longer
do say so
apply.
myself.
This was the dream. And along with Wilbur, Tommy, and Tubbo,
Okay.
Fundy and Eret joined the new nation. Upon
I'll make
hearing the
another
news
house,
of
but I'll
revolution
push
brewing
it
on
back
the server,
further.
Dream went to confront the
Like, this
members
one's
of
toe and
L'Manberg.
toe, and I'll push this one back.
This time, they didn't hide anything. The team explained that everything inside the walls was their land and would be governed and cared for by them, separately and under no rule of the greater Dream SMP. Included would be Tommy's Hill House, which would remain property of their nation as the L'Manberg Embassy. Dream, however, was not convinced and left to conspire with his friends about what to do. Before long, Dream began bribing Tommy to leave L'Manberg and rejoin the greater Dream SMP. But he would have to do
push it
better
back a
than that
couple.
if he wanted someone to turn. That being said, Wilbur still questioned Tommy's devotion to the cause.
All you've done for this nation is you're one of the faces of it, right?
Thank you, thank you.
But you need to understand that
Is that
you've
too
done very
far?
little in terms of setup. I mean, look
No.
behind you. Look at Eric working hard.
Yeah. okay,
As the
that'll
two
be better.
continued to talk, Wilbur still questioned whether Tommy was truly devoted to the revolution or just there to be a face of the nation. And after they reached an agreement, Phase 2 of Wilbur's plan began to take shape.
Only make one of them like that. I remember.
But then, Tommy noticed something out of place.
Uh-oh. Wait, that's
After
not right.
alerting the rest of the squad about what was happening, Tommy saw It's Alyssa walking away.
Oh, there's
from
the girl.
fire. She had taken it too far. And as the team chased her down, she logged out to escape death. The team camped where she disconnected. Wilbur convinced Tommy to take off his armor and use his words, as he would
How
not
did I
let
do
their
this?
new nation of
How am I
L'Manberg
already
become the
confused?
very thing he
My
sought
brain is
to
so
destroy.
small.
Upon Alyssa rejoining, she began to run and Tommy killed her anyway. For Wilbur, this was the final straw. And when they all got back to L'Manberg,
what?
he temporarily dismissed Tommy, making him go back to his home in the greater Dream
And up
SMP.
one.
But then, word got out that Tubbo was being held hostage by Dream.
There we go.
Sapnap,
My
and
brain is
Puns.
way too small sometimes.
Tommy knew if there was any time to regain Wilbur's trust, it was
Hey,
now.
yeah.
By saving Tubbo, he could finally be the hero for L'Manberg he had always wanted to be. But they took him hostage as well. After Tubbo revealed that he had invisibility potions, Dream and Sapnap decided they could not risk them escaping with their stuff and killed both of them. With this,
Can't believe
Wilbur
I had
knew
friends who
it was
took this
time.
seriously. Oh my.
Time to make the
Did you know
revolution
people who were really
official.
into it?
To free themselves of the tyranny and the aggression of the greater Dream SMP,
That's
And to
probably a
officially
fun experience,
declare
actually.
their
To be able to say you knew them. You had an inside view.
Independence. And after some writing, Wilbur Sood, the leader of the great nation of L'Manberg, had drafted their Declaration of Independence.
Oops.
Forever, the nation of the Dream SMP have cast great sins upon our great land of the Hata Dog Ven.
Of
They
the
have
what?
robbed us, imprisoned us, threatened us, killed many of our men. This time of tyranny ends with us. This book declares that the nation which shall be henceforth known as L'Manberg is separate, emancipated, and independent from the nation of Dream SMP.
Those are a lot
The
of big
union of
words
the
for
masters of
Minecrafters.
men. Together, we are one. When in the course of
Stream
human
lag?
events, it becomes
No.
necessary for one to dissolve the bonds which bind us, disregarding of
No.
this truth is nothing short of tyranny. We hold these truths to be self.
Like my whole stream lag? Fine for you? They read fanfics and everything? That's crazy, Dan. Is the stream doing poorly? I hope it's not. That statue that I built scares me every time. I think it's like a giant man. Okay, let's see. I did 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so I'll do the same over here. You think it's on your end? Okay, we'll keep watching.
Self-evident that
I
all
hope you
men
get it
are
resolved so
created
you can
equal.
enjoy.
The right of the people exists above the right of the king,
1,
the
2,
right of
3,
the
and
government,
then I
and the
need one
right
more.
of the economy. From the Hata Dog Van, we shall
The what?
prevail. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of victory.
Okay, that's kind of funny. I get it.
This document
like a-
was signed by
America.
all members of L'Manberg and represented much more than a mere book. These words were what held the nation together, a vow of brotherhood that would only end in independence or death. With the framing of the book, the nation of L'Manberg showed itself as a force to be
I want to
reckoned
make sure I
with,
did that right.
and to Dream. This marked the point of no return. As
I
long as
thought L'Manberg was
stood,
the whole
Dream
thing.
knew
I
he
didn't know it was
couldn't
something
have
separate.
control.
That's why we're watching
And
this,
so,
isn't it?
Him, George,
1, 2,
Sapnap,
3.
and Puns
Oh, the fourth is a
drafted
slab.
another document.
Oops, my mistake.
The Declaration of War. Unlike the first war for Tommy's discs, this time there was much more at stake. This was not just a war for independence, but a war for power. And Dream would stop at nothing to put L'Manberg in the ground
I think
if
that's
it was
how
the
it is.
last thing.
No, it's
he'd do.
definitely not. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not using a tutorial. I'm just
With the
building
reality of war beginning to set
That's
in,
why it's going so
both
poorly.
sides began to prepare.
evenly across the top without the
Off-stream,
thing.
Tubbo would gather
course.
potions to aid them in the coming battles. Meanwhile, Dream had burned down Tubbo's house. Because Dream was offline, Tommy and Tubbo
Ow.
used this time to attempt to convince the members of the Dream SMP Guard that they were on the wrong side. They began this by tempting Puns with a meaningless title, hoping he'd get excited and betray his friends. Next, Tommy
One.
had an idea to tempt
And
Dream.
then slap.
He stated that if Dream refrained from attacking them, he would give up one of the discs. Tommy's most
There we go.
prized possessions on the SMP and the result of a hard-fought war would be put on the line.
What is up
for
with the
independence.
discs, man?
But as Tommy and Tubbo were leaving Dream's base, their entire army logged on at once. Tubbo was gunned down by Dream as Tommy fled to the sewers. All of the potions that Tubbo had gathered
I have an
were
idea
lost
for this
upon
one,
his
actually.
death, being burned by Dream. Soon, everyone joined the call and reality began to set in.
Reality
The
began
Dream
to set
SMP
in, eh?
army was there, and L'Manberg's was not. All Tommy and Tubbo could do was stall them and hope for the best.
Okay.
As Tommy arrived at his house to speak with Dream and his army, he found the entire property laced with TNT. As a final effort, Tommy attempted to convince Dream he was in the wrong, but he would have none of it. The line had already been crossed, damage had been done, and doom was imminent.
Yeah.
Dream and his men gave Tommy and the rest
Yeah.
of L'Manberg 1 day. 1 day to surrender, or everything they owned would be destroyed. And so, as Wilbur
This is gonna
received the
look cool.
news, the true preparation for the final battle
promise.
began.
Tommy and Wilbur and the rest of L'Manchildberg, we are at war.
Do you know what we have that they don't have? We have
Oh, no, we
camaraderie.
don't need this.
We have a
need Mick.
righteous cause. We have an area to defend.
There is no mercy. We have burnt down Tubbo's house. We have planted TNT
They
cannons
burnt
around
our
your
food
land.
supplies,
We have
poisoned our water
cobblestone
sources,
walls to the
burned our
outside, and We have
crops.
shot one warning shot inside your
He
walls.
did.
No matter what happens, no matter even
No.
if he comes, even if he destroys the very hot dog van that we live out of, until the day we stop breathing, that is when L'Manberg has fallen.
And we
Is this
have
unironically
no
4? This is
mercy.
longer. I
No
picked the one
mercy
that's
for you.
longer
Do
than
you know
4
what he's
hours.
driven by?
So this is,
Do you know
whoa!
what we're driven by? The
This
defense
is,
of our land.
You understand? We will come.
one video
burn
of
down
12.
your
Or this is the
houses.
second
He can-
video
he
of
can
12.
Destroy the walls.
Hello.
Kill
Oh, I could
everything
cure
inside
you.
your walls,
Ah, no,
He
I
can-
can't.
He can
Sorry.
slaughter our friends, our family.
and we will take back the land that is rightfully ours.
But until the day we stop
See, doesn't that
breathing,
look like
the
a
minute we let
giant
go of that
creature
dream, that's
like
when he's
that?
won. Men,
Isn't
are
that
you
kinda
gonna let go of
scary?
that dream?
I want to see white flags! White flags outside your base by tomorrow at dawn, or you are dead!
Goodness. It's intense.
August 4th, the day of reckoning. And as Dream and his army looked to the skies of
Hey.
L'Manberg, no
Died.
flags flew.
They were singing
Today,
bye, bye, Miss
There will be
American
war.
Pie.
Before
Hey.
Wilbur logged on, Tommy and Tubbo were attacked. After losing a few useless items, they retreated to L'Manberg where they waited for the official start of the war. Then their leader Wilbur joined the server. With Dream and his men camping the cobblestone wall they had
Let's
built
see.
around part of L'Manberg, the
Hello,
revolutionaries
Empire
retreated to the
Air.
van and began to create a plan of action.
How do I go about
Wilbur
doing this?
emphasized the importance of the element of surprise, as their team was completely outgeared by Dream's army. While
Maybe
they
like
discussed their plan,
Oop.
Dream and his men spread to each wall, surrounding them. Staying true to their peaceful origins,
There we go.
now
Duh.
was not the time to armor up.
Goodness.
Using their words, Wilbur and Tommy attempted one final time to resolve things peacefully. But once again, it didn't work. And
No!
as the two sides regrouped,
Smashes keyboard
they
over knee.
prepared for the Battle of the Ages.
Fuck!
The war for independence,
I think
and
I can
most
build
of
it
all,
up from the ground
the
now.
war for power. Wilbur decided that it would be a
Because all
greater
I have to do
benefit
is
for the
go,
group if
"Soy
he watched
Mac."
the battle from above.
Let's
This
go.
meant the one leading them into battle would be Tommy. As they began making their way to the battlefield, they took it all in. The final calm before the storm. The last.
This is so
Once
dramatic.
the battle began, there would be no rest until someone had won. And having had
Oops.
their moment of peace, both armies moved into position. Let the war begin.
Why is Fundy's uniform different? Is that who the
battle
fox is,
began
Fundy?
on Tommy's front lawn. Dream and his men held Tommy's power tower while the L'Manberg army
His
stood
what?
in the grass.
Pardon me?
As the enemies stared each other down, they both waited for the first move to be made. Then, a shot was fired by Dream. But it was nowhere close to the opposition. Confused,
There we go, huh?
everyone thought he
that.
missed. But he didn't.
They're all
This
a little
was the
bit different.
First trap of the
I like
war
that.
and managed to take out Fundy.
Did the lore of the server take itself
Immediately,
too
the
seriously?
L'Manberg
I mean,
army
hey, it took
retreated
itself
inside
seriously
Tommy's
enough.
house
People
as
were
arrows
obsessed with
began to
this.
rain down from above.
The horrors of war.
Totally undergeared, Tommy crafted
Have you
a
ever
bow
read the
and
lore,
missed
the
only
war
shot he
letters
had.
from L'Manberg?
It had been
That stuff
less
will
than a
rip
minute
your heart
since
out,
the
man.
first shot was fired, and they were already
Agonizing.
backed into a corner.
These poor
As
men.
Tommy began to retreat, Wilbur pulled everyone back. They had to hold their ground.
Why did I build this
Placing
one not
half
four
slabs on
out?
the windows,
Is this
the
guy
men
stupid?
began returning fire.
The answer is yes.
It didn't take long for them to realize that their shots weren't doing much. They needed another plan. Tommy suggested purling on top of the tower and knocking them all off. But Tubble reminded him that Dream had his end crystals from when they killed him earlier. Fundy, however, had a
Then I
better
could go
idea.
like split.
Using an invisibility
glass.
potion, he would sneak up the tower, knocking all of them off and escaping unseen. This would be their next plan of action. But as everyone walked outside to draw fire away from Fundy, they realized the arrows had stopped being fired, and Dream's army was falling back to Ponk's tower. In an attempt to effectively counter their enemy's new position, the L'Manberg army
that.
traveled to the nearby Punz's tower. This tower stood at
Oh, wait,
nearly the
what
same
am I
height
doing?
as Ponk's tower and
Has
would
to be
allow
back
for the
one.
fire to continue. But Dream's army didn't climb the tower. This meant that when Tommy and Tubbo reached the top and began firing down, the Dream SMP army could not shoot high enough to hit them.
Yeah, that could look
They
good.
were completely safe.
Nah.
Because of this, as well as fire from the rest of the L'Manberg army down below, Dream ordered his men to retreat once again. This was huge. Somehow, completely outgeared, L'Manberg was driving Dream's army out of their own land. And with this
need to
victory,
think.
Eric convinced the rest
How
of the
am I
group
gonna build
to join
this?
him in L'Manberg. For he
See, that
had
looks
been
good,
grinding
doesn't it? This
for
is
a
exactly
secret
what I had
weapon.
envisioned.
Something that would
Maybe I
turn
build
the
one
tides
more
of the
on
war
this
and
side.
secure victory. A surprise attack. But something was off. As the
Memishly,
group moved
hello.
closer and closer to the
Hope
final
you're ready to
control
fill
room,
your brain
they
with
only became
nothing
more
but
and more
peak
confused.
content.
Until they were all there, gathered around a single
Okay,
wooden
let me
button.
think. Let me think.
Tommy could not handle the suspense and pressed the button.
Looks pretty good.
room
Thank
Fell
you.
silent. Then
I kind of
the
wish I had used a
unthinkable
tutorial, if I'm being honest.
There's nothing in the chest.
Because now I'm left with this. I'm gonna build the big one first.
Down with the revolution, boys. It was never meant to be.
Just like that. They all had nothing.
This
All
is
of
so
their armor
dramatic.
and weapons had been stolen or burned, and they all retreated to the van. The place where it all began. To take inventory and come up with another plan. Before long, it became even clearer that they had absolutely nothing. This meant they would have to resort back to the core beliefs of L'Manberg. Winning through words. Wilbur, alone, attempted to negotiate with Dream. But it was no use. And yet another
Seems like this
ultimatum
is kind of
was
an
set. If
uncooperative
L'Manberg
guy.
did not fly white flags signifying their surrender of the war, Dream would blow up it all.
Blow up
Believing
it
this
all?
was a bluff, Wilbur followed Dream back
I'm
to
sorry, I know it's
L'Manberg,
probably
where
not
him
easy to
and
make
his
a video
men
like this.
gathered at the wall for their
I shouldn't be so
final
rude.
statement. Then, they all remembered the start of the war. The trap, the explosion. They had to stop. It was too late. All they could do was watch.
Gary, get back. Don't let this hurt you guys. Don't let this be hurt you.
There's like actual bombs going off. This is like scary.
Their nation, the van. It was all gone. The
No!
dream of independence, a chance at freedom.
Did anyone
Gone with
claim
the
to have like
swift shot of an
PTSD
arrow.
over this?
And with that, Wilbur, along with his right-hand man, went to negotiate
Is anyone
the
like,
terms
did anyone
of
get
surrender.
PTSD from the
And as they met with
L'Manberg
Dream,
bombing?
Tommy began to run his mouth, and Wilbur's attempts
Your
at
friend
calming him
Probs,
were
I'm
no
so
use.
sorry for you.
Tommy went on, insulting Dream and even challenging him to a 1v1 bow
Do you
duel.
think these people are still like
But
that, or
then
did they all grow
something
out of it?
happened
I
that
have
was
not been
expected
keeping
by
up.
absolutely no one. Dream was interested in the duel. And so, a civilized discussion began,
1, 2,
and within
3, 4,
minutes,
5, 6,
a
7.
final duel was in place.
And then I could do
The
8.
rules were simple. Both Tommy and Dream would line up on half a
8,
heart.
9, 10.
After taking 10 paces each, the two would turn around and fire bow shots at
Does
each
that
other.
work, huh?
The first person to land a shot would win the duel. The stakes were the highest they'd ever been. If Tommy won, L'Manberg would be given its independence. But if Dream won, not only would L'Manberg lose its independence for good, but Tommy would have to give Dream Mellowhigh.
Defil's still the same,
One
just with
of
a
the two
new
discs
interest.
he won
Really? What
back
do they
from Dream
focus on
in the
now?
First war. With everything
Because things
on
are
the
so
line,
different.
the sun fell low in the sky.
Do they want to come and
It
watch Josh, do you
was a
think?
showdown. The creator of the server and most powerful man there versus Tommy. The scrappy 16-year-old with a dream. of freedom.
Scrappy.
They took their positions. Wilbur stood in the center and would be counting off their 10 paces. The fate of L'Manberg was now in the hands of Tommy. All his friends could do was watch and pray.
Oh, I should have pushed
The
this
count
out
began.
one, huh?
1,
I'll do that in a
2,
second.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
The world stood still.
Dog, it's Minecraft.
And then
10 paces fire.
The world stood still. He actually looked
Tommy
kind of
had
sad there,
lost.
didn't he?
L'Manberg had lost. For the second time.
No!
And Tommy owed Dream the very disc he spent days fighting to get back.
Whole
With
days,
this,
eh?
It once again seemed that all hope was lost for L'Manberg. But in one final twist, Tommy had an idea. One that would fly in the face of everything he was known for. He requested for Dream to join a private call, and he did. This is what happened.
Okay.
Dream, I know what you want from me.
Maz
I'll give you
camera,
both of the
hello.
discs if you let us have our independence. Both of them.
Okay, I could do
Wait.
the back here.
That is a very, very interesting deal. That is very selfish
Sorry, I
of
hiccuped.
you. Those are your discs.
For the L'Manberg, you know?
For Wilbur, for Tubbo.
Okay, I will. How about this? I'll grant you technical independence for both discs. We will not go into your grounds unless we're allowed, and we will.
You
attack
respect us. Yeah, just independence, man.
we will
Just
respect
independence.
Tommy, despite for his entire time on the SMP thinking only of himself and his own wants and needs, laid down his most prized possessions for the greater good of their nation. This
Tommy
story
gave up a
had
block
happy
in
ending,
Minecraft.
and L'Manberg, against all odds, was free at last. In the light of their victory, Wilbur gathered the men to write the Decree of Independence.
My
It
goodness
read,
me.
As we gaze upon the swaths
I
of
never
redwood
knew it was this
trees,
serious.
the great hills to our south,
I really didn't.
and the walls that have protected us for years. I, as the now president of L'Manberg, hereby state,
By the way, I'm not just here shitting on it. Like, this is a hard thing to do.
Suck it, green boy!
Like, play an act on live stream
Life,
for hours. That
liberty,
would be very tough.
and the pursuit
I'm not gonna
of freedom.
act like it wouldn't be.
As the sun set on their new nation, Tommy and
need to
Tubbo
go out and
returned
get
to the
some
bench
freaking
outside
spruce.
Tommy's house. There, they played a different disc to celebrate their independence. With the L'Manberg War ending, the server once again entered a time of peace. Over the next month, many small skirmishes happened, new developments occurred, and new players joined. But the next true development in their story would arise in early
I think that
September.
looks good.
With Wilbur being the self-elected
get some
president of L'Manberg,
spruce.
many of the new players, upon hearing this, titled him a dictator. What resulted from these accusations sparked a new era in the storyline. A different kind of war. This was the first annual
Goodness, I have too many
L'Manberg
things in my
election.
inventory.
Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already so you
Yippee!
get notified
Were they
when the
in
next part
character the
comes
whole
out.
stream, or did they
Make
start
sure
acting
to
like
go
that when
join
there
my
was lore?
Discord so you can talk to
Oh,
me,
you know
make
what?
new
I don't have
friends,
the
and
answer
get
to that.
announcements about things like upload
I didn't
time.
even think about that when I said
Comment
it.
down below
Huh.
your thoughts on the video and what you think could be better. Anyway, I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day. And I'll
Thank
see
you,
all
Minecraft
in the
guy.
next video.
Oh, I like how they do that. Hey, oops.
L'Manberg
Hey,
was
everybody.
free.
I hope you have an amazing
In the
day,
light of their
everybody. Is
independence,
everyone enjoying
Wilbur
the
stood to
stream?
declare himself as the president of their great nation.
How's this? Was that
Although no one
engaging?
questioned it at the time, this simple act, these
Fire
few
shots on
words,
red
would
bubble.
spiral out of control,
J-Schwat?
leading to a new era
Is he in
the
this?
SMP. This was the beginning of the reign of Manberg.
Oh!
Really quick, this video took weeks to make, so if you
I'm
take
sure it
1
did.
second to subscribe, it is completely free and it would make my day. Thank you. Once again, go check out Lord Cantor, who let me use his recreation of the Dream SMP for this series. The link is in the description. Also, make sure to go follow me on Twitter for some quality
I feel
tweets
like-
and updates on videos.
Why did someone
Anyway,
else have to remake
let's
the
start
server? I feel
from
like
the
they should have
beginning.
just released it, you know?
As the weeks went by after the war, not much happened in L'Manberg.
Pretty sure there were streams
The
dedicated
server was
to
at
lore.
peace,
Ah.
and so there
Well,
wasn't
that would
much
still be
Wilbur
pretty
had
hard,
to do
you know,
to maintain their
having to put
nation.
on an act like that.
With the addition
not
of a
trying
few
to
new
make too much
players,
fun of it. It's
L'Manberg
been
went
way
from the
too long
only
for
independent
me to be,
nation
like,
to just another spot on the SMP.
Cringe, you know,
a shadow
about something
of
like
the
this.
glory it once held.
What the heck
And
is
Wilbur, although being the leader of their nation, began to feel his power slipping away. His lack of presence on the server and self-declaration as president meant that he was not getting the respect or admiration he wanted as a leader. This simple fact sparked a plan in Wilbur's mind. A
His
plan for
Minecraft
him
skin
and
is such a
Tommy to
nothing
reclaim
burger,
the
if I'm
power
being
they
honest.
rightfully deserved. Wilbur thought, what better way of getting power than having the people themselves vote for you?
Oh,
They
nice
would hold an
America
election.
idea.
But
Already
not a
been
normal
done,
election.
Chief.
Wilbur's plan was to notify no one that the election would be taking place until after the ballots had shut, leaving him as the only running party, thus forcing the people to vote only for them and swiftly taking back their power. After making
kinda
Tommy his
manipulative.
running mate, the two ventured off to L'Manberg to write the election ballot. They then proceeded to set the date of the election and named their party The Right the Best. That's my personal favorite political party. After that, they began work on their new policies. Some of the most
Wonder if anyone
important
made a deal about
included,
that.
We won the war. Vicstar will vote for us.
Trigger warning,
Tubbo.
politics.
And
Someone
we
please
will
tell
make
Wilbur what
big
the right
things.
means in America.
Feeling very confident that these new policies would gain them the support of the entire server, Wilbur and Tommy bragged about their plans to one player. Someone new.
Dream?
A man who would seek to
Trish
ruin
what?
their plans of taking power and win the position of president for himself.
Oh, Quackity?
Ladies and gentlemen, this man was Quackity.
Is this
Where do I
stimulating
start
for you?
with Quackity? Holding over 4 million subs today,
You should be
Quackity
so
has
stimulated
established
right now.
himself as one of the bigger personalities on the SMP.
Eh.
Always looking for
I'm gonna
a
turn
chance
this
at
into
power
Mega Spruce
wherever
Tree
he
Island.
can find it. He isn't afraid to do
Bow, bow,
whatever
bow,
it
bow.
takes to find his way to the top.
Bow, bow, bow,
Whether
bow.
it be
Oh.
starting an illegal business or masterminding a robbery, Quackity is no stranger to
Stop
crime
hitting us
on
with
the
an
SMP.
axe. You're stimulated.
But
You like
today,
it.
He would be putting
You're
all
Minecraft
that
enjoyers.
behind it. He would be pursuing something else.
Oh, this is.
Because
Oh
he
wait.
was the only other player in the
Oh,
election,
this
he
is
took
the
it upon
sauce.
himself to stand up against their one-party system and give the people a choice. Announcing his campaign right in front of Wilbur and Tommy.
Where's the Overwatch
Quackity's
2
party will
gameplay?
be titled
You want me to
So
boot up
We Are Gaming,
Overwatch 2? You would be the
or Swag,
first.
for short.
Wait,
And with
why did I
this,
call it Overwatch
Tommy
2?
and
I
Wilbur
never call it
had
by
to
its
think
full
fast,
name.
or control in their own nation will be pulled out from under
It's like the last thing anyone ever wants me to do.
Following the addition of the second party, both sides scrambled to recruit as many people as they could to help them win the election. But before they began, Wilbur and Tommy knew that they
Why
had
is he
to
always
change
wearing
the
that
name of
same
their
sweater?
party.
Did this all take place
The
in
Right
one
the
day?
Best was a good name.
All I'm saying is that
Okay,
if there was
maybe
another
not,
SMP
but they knew there was
coming
only
out that
one
was like
word
lore
that could
based like
compete
this,
with
I
swag.
would ask to be on it.
One word that was universally better
I think
and
it'd
would
be fun.
provide them a basis of recruiting players to their side. They would run as the politicians of gaming. Their new party would be POG. As the
Nice.
POG and Swag parties began their campaigns across the server, they attempted to convince as many people as
No,
possible
no, no, no,
to
no,
side
no,
with
no,
them
no, no,
in
no,
the
no, no.
election. Starting with Tubbo,
Button
the
mashing.
politicians of gaming managed to recruit Jack
The
Manifold
politicians
and
of gaming.
two new players to the server who joined
What a
shortly
title.
after Lamember gained its independence.
What would be my lore?
These
I'd
new
probably be
additions
like,
were good.
I'd
But
probably
to
be like
truly turn the
secretly
tides
dark
in
and
favor,
twisted.
Tommy and Wilbur
I'd probably
knew they
like
needed to get someone powerful. Someone with connections at the top and someone who
I
was
don't know,
admired
man.
by all.
I don't know, man.
They needed to recruit George Not Found.
Do I look like an ideas
But
guy?
they were too slow. By the time they were able to ask for George's vote, his allegiance already lied with Quackity. With this, Tommy and Wilbur knew there was
No,
a long road
traitor!
ahead in the election, and it would not be as easy as they thought.
Okay.
But they still had a
I see
few
what I
tricks
did.
up their
I
sleeves.
did this.
Tommy
and I did
attempted to
this.
smear Quackity's reputation by creating a collection of fake quotes
Could
that
look
made
good
him look
to
bad.
have both.
He had also taken books of money
Yeah.
from Dream as a part of a Minecraft Deal or No Deal that had taken place recently on the server.
I want
Using
another
these,
iced coffee
Tommy
already.
hoped he would
Ooh,
be
I
able
want
to
another
bribe
iced
and
coffee so
slander his
bad.
way to winning POG 2020, the election. Upon seeing the wall,
There we go, huh?
Quackity had enough and proposed they hold a debate right away.
Boop, boop.
Wanting to come off as strong as possible,
I could put, like, a
Wilbur
window
and Tommy
here, huh?
reluctantly agreed, and with that, the two parties ventured to the newly created courthouse to hold their first debate.
How do you crouch like that? Why can't I get in?
As the two parties entered the courthouse, they took their sides
What
and
the heck?
prepared for the debate. Yet another new player, Carl
There we go,
Jacobs,
goodness.
took center floor as he would administer the debate.
Administer the
Before
debate?
began, Quackity
Yuck.
convinced Fundy to join his side, and following this, the first part of the debate began. Wilbur versus Quackity.
Oh,
The
Chat
first
message.
issue brought to the table was territories.
Okay, I went on a deep dive to find my old friend, and I can't
L'Manberg
find
has
him,
a
but the
long
last time I
history
checked, the
of
cringe
discrimination
interest was
against
Amazing
people not
Digital
from
Circus.
L'Manberg.
I haven't even
Myself,
seen
I'm
that
able
yet.
to enter L'Manberg because of the policies these men have put into their property. And I don't agree with that. I'm gonna let everyone into L'Manberg because it's a beautiful country and it deserves to be seen by every citizen.
Who's the one
in
guy?
SMP.
For years, nay, I say
The one drunk guy in the
decades,
crowd.
The Dream SMP
Hell
has
yeah.
ostracized my group of people. My European brethren stood behind me. L'Manberg is not a place of oppression. It is a place of sanctuary for our people. What you are intending
Sanctuary?
to do is come into our land and open it up to the very people we seek to escape.
Oh,
just
now
because
he's
we've
dressed
created
up
a
as
better
his
life for
Minecraft
ourselves.
skin.
This in itself is tyranny, and I will not stand for it.
Wilbur is embracing tradition here. We don't need to embrace tradition. We are a new generation of politicians, Wilbur. I hope you remember that. Embracing your old school policies is just gonna hurt progress.
They aren't
Quite
old
frankly.
school. These policies were formed from blood not long ago.
Is that so?
Yes.
Your policies all grow from war. Of course, you're a
Of
warmonger.
course
How
they
is
had
this
to go
all
for war.
like
We
that?
were
You love
oppressed.
to have wars,
We were an
Wilbur.
oppressed people, Quackity. I led these people to freedom, and I will keep and
led the
uphold
people
the
to freedom.
policies.
Yeah.
I
Where
will
am I
uphold
gonna
the policies
put a
which freed us.
door?
L'Manberg's borders, as long as I'm
Probably
in charge,
around
will stay
here.
closed to all who are non-European.
Choose.
Wilbur.
The people get to choose, Wilbur.
Topic number 2 was their stances on the killing of pets,
How are you
as
gonna
an
get
ongoing pet war
inside?
ensued in the background of the main story.
You
If
do it
I am
here.
re-elected as president, I would like to create a police force that will uphold the law so that no further pets are killed in L'Manberg.
Like a basement, like a first floor.
I think the moral
then
values
up
of
to
our
a second
people
floor,
are
eh?
more important than enforcement.
I
You
think
are
that's pretty
enacting
smart.
police enforcement, and what I'm enacting is a better values of our people.
I envision
will enact
scenery
a
as an
policy
enigmatic,
that will
dark,
teach
edgy,
all our
and
residents
witty
to
character.
be nice
Ooh,
to each other. And that
a
way we
lone
don't
wolf
have
who
to
doesn't care about
enforce any sort of
society.
Oh,
law.
welcome
Yeah.
to the real world, Big Q.
Yeah.
Do I believe if a bad person
I'm a
is going
member
to
of
kill
Shadow
someone's
Wizard
animals, there
Moody
should be
Gang.
someone to stop them. That's what I'm saying.
On behalf of
What
my
I
love
think
for
is that we
casting
should attack
spells,
the
of
problem
course.
from the root. And that's enact and change the morals we all have. No one should be dying, and no one's animals should be dying either, Wilbur. We are attacking the problem from the root. You just want to throw people in jail, Wilbur. I'm not for that.
Tommy,
There was a lot of
fearing
politics
that they
on
were
this, I
starting to lose
suppose.
the debate,
I did not
decided
realize.
to use the money from Dream to bribe Carl into ruling the debate in
Carl!
Wilbur's favor.
Mr. Beast
And after a
Carl!
completely unrelated discussion
What is that
about
goofy
political
ringing sound? I
corruption,
think it's the
Carl did
triangle in the
exactly
background of this
that.
video.
Next, the running mates would have a debate. This was Tommy Innit versus George Not Found.
Now, I think I'd like to address the fact that the reason L'Manberg was created was for freedom. The Dream SMP wouldn't allow our rules, and it wouldn't tolerate us making our own separate,
it a form of hypnosis? I
kingdom.
mean, it's working
And I
on
think
me.
the fact, George, that the Dream SMP rigged our land with TNT, exploded everything we owned and loved, my base, my embassy. And merely I had to give away my discs just to get L'Manberg back. You know, we want to keep that to our members. I think that is a completely fair point to make. And the fact that you would pressure us out of doing that, well, we had to fight with our very hands and knees, my friends. We have betrayals. I had to give away my discs, and you know that's my prized possession.
We're
Jeff.
talking about freedom here, yet you lock it behind a
really wanna
certain
use
group
a
of people.
story
But the
for
reason we have to
this.
make
I
this
wanna
certain
say
group
it,
of
but
people,
that seems
George,
almost...
it's because the Dream SMP, your land, which you stand for, mercilessly blew up our land, killed our
Can you
friends,
tell me
our
Is
family.
the video desynced? That's like really desynced, isn't it?
Why was your line...
I need to do this. J-Swat! Sorry. We're at 10:40.
L'Manberg back. I had to give away my
Wait, it is just desynced. Like, do you see that? His mouth isn't at all going with what he's saying. Oh, whoops, I don't have my category on the right thing, and I even left my stream open so that I would change it. LOL! I'm such a terrible streamer. I know. Yeesh. Okay. Category change to Minecraft. Insta 1 million views. I'm just gonna
discs
leave
and
it
you
because
know
I'm
that's
guessing
why
that's the
Prime
video and
Yeah,
not
you're talking about
me.
freedom here, yet you lock it behind a certain group of people. That
But the
seems,
reason
you know,
we have to
I
make
don't
this
wanna
certain
say
group
it,
of
but
people,
that seems
George,
almost.
it's because the Dream SMP, your land, which you stand for, mercilessly blew up our land,
Alright.
killed our
Can you
friends,
tell me
our family, our turbos.
why was your land? Why did it
Basement?
need to be blown
And
up?
then, like,
What
that's
happened
the
in the
floor.
first place?
No, George, if you
Eh?
stand by
What
the
did
fact
you- what did you do to
George,
spark
George,
this
if you
war?
stand by the
All
fact
you
that
care
something
about
needs to be
is
blown
war.
up, then how
All
dare
you care
you?
about
Didn't
is
notice
war.
how
You
off
know
it
who
was.
wins in war?
Yeah,
No
right?
one wins in war, and especially not the people.
But I did refresh
you are
it.
causing mayhem, okay? You're causing chaos.
Man,
The
that
people
triangle
are
is like
hurting
all
from
I
it.
can
They
notice
want
right now
peace
since you
within the
pointed it
land.
out.
Say
I
shush,
am
Goggy.
leaving my
Shush,
podium.
Goggy.
All he cares
Shush,
about is
Goggy.
war.
After a
Shush,
heated
Goggy.
start to the debate,
Oh, they actually did
things
call him
got
that. I
ugly
thought that was
when
a
George
fan name.
pulled out proof that Tommy had bribed
Goggy.
Carl. The chaos and low blows continued, even catching the eyes of Dream, who joined the call to defend himself and George. Wilbur then called for a brief
What
recess
should the
where he
floor
discussed
be?
with Tommy that they needed to pull themselves together. If they wanted to win the debate, they needed to take the high road, follow the
Watching
rules,
this without
and
earbuds, it's
outdebate
so
their
embarrassing
opponent.
listening to this at full volume.
Following the
Come on,
recess,
you're
the
watching it
debate
with
got
me,
back on
it's not
track,
embarrassing.
With Tubbo as the new moderator.
It's
The
cool.
final topic on the table was conflict.
When this was a
You
simpler
don't
time
understand.
on this server.
Sorry, I'm just jumping
We all
around
lived
trying
in
to
harmony.
envision how I should
And
make
it
the
was very
basement
nice,
of this.
very
I think
peaceful,
the
and we loved
floor
it.
is gonna start up
And
here,
then
and
you
for
came along.
now,
We started
I think I'll
wars,
just.
battles.
No, that's way too much
killings.
wood, isn't it?
Oh,
But it
list
is a
goes on.
cabin,
And simply,
so it is
my opinion on
supposed to
conflict
be
is
wood.
we should keep it to a minimum. But clearly in
Berry
your
bushes
mind,
in the window
you
are
want it
cute.
to a
Thank
maximum.
you.
I don't agree with that.
I could checkerboard it, but I don't
that would be
really
that. I think
want
only
to.
when necessary is it right. I think the point you're making about conflict and that it probably was a
I could
nicer
do
time
like a
before I joined the server,
crisscrossy.
but that's only because
You know what,
someone
let's just do
stood
this
up
for
to your
now.
tyranny.
If you came on and had just been amicable like the rest of us, we wouldn't have had to
I'll
have a
make
war. in the
a
first
We
place.
were
ladder up
amicable.
here
If you get elected,
somewhere.
What changes will you make for the better?
I'll quickly do that because I do have an idea
That's a
for
very
how
good
I'd like
point. I
that
think
to
we're going to
look.
make sure that this tyranny, this war, this
Yeah, I
I'd
have
say
these.
discrimination, we'll be stopping that. I don't want any more of war between people. I think it's very important that the Dream SMP server people understand we don't have anything necessarily against them. We just want to make a clear boundary that, look, we fought for our nation. I gave Dream
Maybe
my
I'll put it
discs,
in
and
the
now we've
corner
earned
here.
it. So I think it's very unfair of you to shout, no, anyone must be allowed. Well, sure, if you'd like to make that your policy, anyone can be allowed. But the point is, we fought for this nation, and the fact that you're trying to take it
Oh,
away,
shoot,
again,
I can't
make
do
it a
that.
part of the Dream SMP is what you're trying to do. And that is the opposite of all that Lamanberg stands for.
Ah,
and
darn.
if that's what you
I was
stand
hoping
for,
that I could do like
So-
a
you
so
do
we're
not
gonna
have
make
my vote.
After the debate fell into chaos once again, Wilbur and Tommy decided that they had had enough and would not continue the debate. They trusted that the people would see through the lies of their opponents and know in their hearts the right
and
side
then I
to
could
take.
do like
And with tensions as high as ever, the campaign trails continued, growing ever closer
no,
to
that's
election
not what I
day.
want. Okay, I'm having ideas.
September
I'm having ideas. My brain is
21st.
functioning.
The day of
At
the
the speed of
Lamanberg
light.
election. Everything was in place and the people were ready to vote. But before they released the polls, the two parties had to give their
Don't do
final
that.
speeches and announce endorsements. As they all gathered at the podium,
What
except
is
for
wrong
George,
with
who
this?
was having the best sleep of his life, they began with their speeches.
My name is Quackity,
Having
and I
the
am running
best
for
sleep of
president
his
simply
life.
because I didn't think it was fair for Wilbur Soot to run a
Soot?
one-party democratic election, or so democratic as he wants to call it. That is why I have gone up and have challenged this man and all his policies, all his old-school
See, like,
policies,
it's gonna- Ooh!
to make Lamanberg a better place.
Hi, I'm incumbent
No.
President
Well-
Wilbur Soot, and I'm here to tell
I'm
you
alive,
the
so
reason
I
I'm
mean.
running for president is because I felt like it was unfair of me
Are
to
you
decide
okay?
myself to be just a
That just
dictator.
happened.
Essentially
No
what
weapons in
I'm
the
doing
man.
is I'm running this election to solidify democracy in our great nation of Lamanberg.
I'm gonna build
and
a
if you
door
vote for
really
me,
quick.
I'll keep those filthy Americans.
Anyway, following the speeches, Fundy
I'm gonna
walked
build
up
a
to the
door
mic
really
and
quick.
just started talking.
I need to scream like Josh
My
for
fellow
entertainment. I
citizens,
don't scream.
I
I'm
stand here
sorry.
today, humbled by the task before us. Grateful for the trust
And
you have bestowed
a door.
and mindful.
No, that won't ever
sacrifices
happen
borne by our
again. Thank you,
ancestors.
thank you.
Now I mind to keep my
I'm
words
sorry,
short
everybody.
and powerful, and thus I say, I am not powerful.
I was trying
I
to
am not
peacefully show you the
resembled
stairs.
the physique,
Or the,
of a leader, and I might not
you
have
know,
wealth,
true.
This
But-
I had made.
I do have a dream.
It's got bones like his mother.
While Quackity has righteous ideas and Wilbur the leadership, I,
Scratch his back of the
together
head.
with Nikki,
Did that creeper
have a
just
bakery.
explode? What a
and a
baka.
worldwide shipping right. I can
Goodness.
deliver as many cookies and ice cream
I
as
should
you
have hammed
desire
up that reaction, but I
once
really
you
don't know
voted
how. I'm not good at
for
screaming.
Coconut 2020.
Wilbur was not very
Oh, this
happy
was a
about
bad
Fundy
place.
trying to undermine
I
the
can't put it
system
here
and join
because
the election
that
the day it would happen.
does not work.
Because of this, he attempted to send Coconut 2020 away and keep them off the ballot. However, the people wanted differently.
I'll have to build it
And
here.
so, swaying to the judgment of the people, Wilbur added Coconut 2020 to the ballot. Things were not exactly going according to plan. What started as an attempt to gain more power
Beep, beep.
has now put Wilbur and Tommy at risk of losing all the power they had. But little did they know, it was about to get worse.
You see where I'm like cooking
A
though?
lot
My little idea to have it like a
worse.
shoot.
Next up, the parties would reveal their endorsements.
My one endorsement is KSI. He just hasn't
Respect?
happened to responded yet to my endorsement plead. But he's
Hold
my
on,
one
I gotta do this
endorsement.
first.
KSI and
Have you got any
Lord
evidence?
Jesus Christ.
Now, after years of fighting and,
Oh wait,
you know,
no,
a
that
general
doesn't work either.
negative presence, I finally got who
My
we
brain is
needed
not
on our
working.
side to turn probably just the entire world around.
Oh, that's right. I have to do this first. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm sorry. I need another coffee.
Look, me and Tommy have had our differences in the past.
Oh my
That doesn't change the fact that I'm a firm supporter of POG 2020. I have every belief in it. Support me.
Hog 2020. Who the hell is that guy?
Boys,
I've got my endorsement. Here he comes. The one, the only.
Jay Schlatt, a comedian, a man of business, but behind
man
all
of
lies
business,
a
they say.
calculating man. Life is a
Oh,
chess
what am I
game to
doing?
Schlatt,
Why am I not thinking?
and he has no intention of losing.
You know what? We're gonna
at
do this
any
later. This must be
cost.
so frustrating.
He
I
is
am sorry.
confident, charismatic, and ruthless. Give him control, he will control
Was there
everything.
just something purple
Give him
on
a
the
drink,
ground?
it'll take him 3 seconds. Give him a podium, and he'll rule the world. This was not Schlatt's first time on the SMP. He had made a cameo for one of Tommy's videos shortly after the Disc Saga, but was then quickly banned by Dream, who had no idea Schlatt had joined. But now, he was back, and had no intention of endorsing anyone but himself.
Democracy is overrated.
Whoa, wait, no, hold on.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
doing
that's
such a
right.
bad job right
That's
now.
right.
Stick to
You
the-
don't.
please,
You think
the
you need a
I think I
president?
know this guy from somewhere.
You think you need? I'll be my own president.
Everyone,
What?
get off the
If you think you want Quackity as your president?
yeah.
You
Oh
think you
my
want
gosh.
Wilbur? I'll run my own presidency.
No.
You haven't seen the end of me.
God.
Oh, you.
This isn't
No.
the end of. This
No,
is the
no.
end of my presidency.
Everything was going downhill, and fast. Dream endorsed Schlatt and proceeded to give him his
So that's
crossbow.
gonna be the fireplace.
After Tommy
Okay,
was
I
shot,
remember.
everyone on the podium retreated to the White House and hid from Schlatt.
So like,
After their blockade was repeatedly broken, the three knew they had to escape and broke out through the walls. After Tommy and Schlatt both died, Wilbur knew there was no point in continuing the rally
Looking
and
for
decided
creepers?
to
Okay,
drop
we're
the
good.
ballot. In doing so, he knew he had no choice but to include both Coconut 2020 and Schlatt 2020 to keep the integrity of the
I've only
election.
kind of been paying attention. What is Coconut
The votes
2020?
began flooding in. Tommy and Wilbur
Sorry?
sat on the edge of their seats as thousands
Was I
of their
building
viewers voted for who they wanted to win. The
oh,
future of
right.
L'Manberg was left entirely up to the audience. With the reality of their
I need to
chance
start
at
my
losing becoming
inventory.
very real,
Spruce.
Tommy and Wilbur attempted to make a backdoor deal with Quackity. In the event that Schlatt 2020 or Coconut 2020 would win the election, Pog and Swag would combine their votes, creating a coalition
Pog
government
and
with two
Swag.
presidents
This is
and
so
Tommy
awesome.
as vice president. But
This was
Quackity
truly a
knew
different
this was a
time.
bad deal. With no endorsements and no vice president, he was dead in the water. they both knew there was no way Swag would beat Pog, and so when Wilbur refused to make their agreement unconditional, Quackity
There's no way. What
refused
would be
the
what
deal.
now?
But he wouldn't
Dan
give up on the
Ochino,
election that
hello.
easily. He knew that if
Oh,
nothing
that's not
was
gonna
done,
work. That's
Pog
not gonna
would
work
win
at
the
all.
election, and everything he fought for would be for
That's
nothing.
why did I put
And
a
so,
big honking
Quackity
fireplace
offered
right
a
at the
similar
beginning?
deal to Schlatt. Swag
Oh, I'm a
Party would give
fool.
all of their
Why
votes to
didn't I
Schlatt
just follow a
2020
video
on the condition that
tutorial? Why
Quackity
did I have
would
to
be his
trust
vice
my
president.
brain that I know doesn't
Without
work?
hesitation, Schlatt agreed. And with that, all
Oh,
they
I could
could
have
do
like a
was
stair
wait.
going down so that I wouldn't
The
have to
future
fill in
of
the...
Lamembert in
I
the
could do like...
hands of the people. Tommy and Wilbur had faith that the people
That looks
would
pretty
come through
clean,
for their
doesn't it?
party. But that
I
didn't
know what you're
stop
thinking.
the sinking feeling that maybe,
I know what you're thinking.
just maybe, this would be
Maybe it
the
doesn't.
end.
Maybe it doesn't look that good.
The next day, the results were in. 220,000 people had voted, and today, the winner of the election would
I need to
be
finish making
announced.
that. I need to do
Everyone
one thing at a time.
from
What
all
is
across
wrong
the
with me?
server gathered at the podium to hear the news.
Well, I think we all know.
The
but
candidates met on the stage,
whatever.
and Wilbur explained what would happen. Today, they would not just find out who won
Maybe
the
I
election,
can leave the
but
floor
also
spruce if I
inaugurate
just
them immediately.
like put
Upon
rugs
inauguration,
down, huh?
the new
Then that
leader
would make
would
it.
then
That would
announce their
spruce
first
it up,
decree
wouldn't
as
it?
president. Within 15 minutes, Lamembert would have their new president, and a new era would begin.
Sorry.
Wilbur began the proclamation by announcing disqualified votes. By
I think
removing
Stone
votes with
contrasts
the
it
same
too much.
IP
Replace
address,
with planks
Wilbur
too.
was able to
That-
account
that's
for
a pretty
any
smart
possible
move.
cheating or fake votes. In
I was
total,
thinking,
there
like,
were
a part of me was like, oh, I'll make it look like a
120,000 of these
survival
votes,
cabin,
the
but
majority
it's
of
far
which
too
came
cutesy for
from
that, so I
Coconut
think you might be
2020,
onto something.
who just so happened to have a coding YouTuber as their party head. Anyway, after that was
coding
sorted out,
YouTuber? Who?
Wilbur began revealing the results.
With 9% of the vote, 20,000 people or so. In fourth place is
20,000
Coconut
people?
2020. Yeah! With
Okay, go on,
16% of the vote, coming in third place is Schlatt 2020. In second place, with 30%
Wait,
of the
was the
popular
Dream
vote,
SMP happening at the
Led
at the same
by-
time as SMP Live?
the party leader, Quackity, Swag 2020. Meaning that the winner of the popular vote by 45% is Pog 2020, led by the incumbent. 2 nights ago on the night of the election, Quackity made a deal. No matter what happens, Quackity would pool Swag 2020 votes on with Schlatt 2020 votes. Pog 2020 got 45% of the popular vote, meaning that the coalition government of Schlatt and Swag 2020 got 46% of the vote. Meaning
hype.
that tonight, Schlatt 2020 has been inaugurated.
This is hype. Question mark. Oh, I'm
Schlatt,
such a fool. I
having
did
been
this
on the
so
server for less
poorly.
than 24 hours, now ruled all of Lamembert. Wilbur and Tommy sat in shock as the nation they
This
fought
is Family
for,
Guy
the
episode with
nation
Subway
they built
Surfer
from the
Below at
ground up,
2.0.
the
Yeah, but
nation
it's kind of
they
fun, isn't
loved,
it?
slipped through
It's
their
like watching
fingers
videos with
into the
friends.
cold hands of Schlatt. Wilbur and Tommy left the podium and went to take a seat in the crowd.
I am
And Schlatt,
fostering
now the
parasocial
second
relationships.
most powerful
We're friends,
man on the
guys.
server,
We're
gave
best
his
friends.
first decree
We've known
as
each other for so
president
long. We
of
watched
Lamembert.
Subway Surfer Family Guy together.
Well, that was pretty easy. And you know what I said? The day I got unbanned from the Dream SMP. I looked every citizen of Lamembert in the eyes and I said, you listen to me. This place will be a lot different tomorrow.
I've known you
Let's
for
start making
years.
it
We go
happen.
way back.
My first decree as the president of Lamembert
Is this where
The
people started
Empire
hating Schlatt?
is to revoke the citizenship of Wilbur Soot and Tommy Innit.
There was no time to think. From leaders of a nation to enemies of the state within
There was
seconds.
no time.
If
Sorry,
Tommy
I'm sorry. I
and
need
Wilbur
to stop
wanted
being
to make
rude.
it out alive, they had to run. And run they did.
It's a good video.
Wilbur
That's the
drank
problem. It's like
invisibility
really
potion,
interesting
but it
and
was
well
no
done.
Use. Meanwhile,
keep being a
Tommy made a
turd.
break for Lamembert, managing to escape through an underground tunnel
Hmm.
Tubbo had built earlier. Tommy and Wilbur met in the forest. They
So
were now
rude, I'm
banished
sorry, I
not
know.
only from the nation of Dream SMP,
This
but their own
this experience
home
is gonna bring
of
us all
Lamemberg.
closer. Watching all these
They
episodes
ventured
of
off into
this.
the wilderness,
Okay.
and as they searched for a
so
place for
if
their
I
new
did
home,
downstairs, I
thought
could put
about
like a
what
little
this meant.
kitchen down here,
they had
huh?
put everything on the line
Maybe
for
like an armor
Lamemberg, gave
stand,
their
and then
lives
up here the
for
bed, huh?
Lamemberg.
Josh would
And
have folded
now,
an hour
they
ago.
were
It's
forced
really
to
well
run from their
done.
creation.
I'm enjoying it.
Betrayed by their own nation. They built their new home in a small hill a few hundred
Oh, I just
blocks
had an
away
idea.
from
I just had an idea. I
civilization.
just had an idea. Let me show you.
They had to start over. Having only some tools,
Looking at that
armor,
gave me an
and a
idea.
few random items, Tommy and Wilbur hit rock bottom. But then, Schlatt announced he would be giving
Oh my gosh,
another
the air is
speech.
really dry.
Helpless and
I'm
alone,
gonna have to turn on my
all Wilbur and
humidifier.
Tommy
Goodness.
could do was listen.
What if I built like
As
a
the
little
nation they once
circle
loved
house there?
crumbled
You know how people do
before
that, like a port?
People of Lamemberg!
Oh, that could be so cool. I don't think that's what it's
Rises
called, a porthole.
Over another beautiful day
Like,
in our country.
Tucked in there, eh?
I reckon our
think
nation
that could
needs
look
to
good.
expand.
Something a little different.
I reckon we've
Is there gonna be an exam on this?
done
Actually,
our
that would be
country
so
great
fun!
disservice.
Flynn, that is such a good idea. I'm going to take like a
I
how
reckon
well do you know Lamemberg quiz
we'll
after
take
this.
down
Oh, you're so
the
smart. All of us are gonna take it.
You can't do that.
What?
Whoever gets the highest points gets a
Citizens of
sub.
Lamemberg!
I'll fail? Well, you better start paying attention, I guess, hey.
Tear down the walls of this country.
I wish that grass would grow on these blocks. How do I get
Ends
grass
the
to
second
grow on
presidential
them?
speech.
We could do a
Let's get
Kahoot or something? Oh,
The
this
walls.
is a good idea.
The very walls that protected Lamemberg since the day it was born would be taken
yeah,
down
I think I like
by
the
its
idea
own
of like stuffing
citizens.
one in there. Maybe I could do it
Wilbur
a little
and Tommy
closer
could
to the
not help
fall.
themselves and traveled back to watch
How do you see me
as
from
they
all the way
sat
over
on
there?
a nearby
turd?
hill. Their nation's borders fell
And all
before
people
their
who
eyes.
get below half. Yeah, that's a good
Wilbur
idea.
was
Sounds
destroyed.
good.
Lamemberg was his dream from the day he joined the SMP, and in the span of 30 minutes, that dream was crushed in front of him.
In a couple minutes, I'm gonna
When
make
Wilbur and
myself
Tommy
a
arrived
nice
back at their
coffee.
base,
I'll be gone for
Wilbur
like 5
exclaimed
minutes.
that he was a
So if
slow
anybody wants to
burning
get up
fuse.
and get a snack with
And
me
over the
in 5
next few
minutes,
weeks, he would become a
Please
much different
do.
man than the one Jay Schlatt
yeah,
crossed.
I'm stretching.
Tommy, meanwhile, had already come up with a plan. Both of them knew that just the two of them would not be enough to put up a fight against the new Lamemberg.
Guys, can I copy your
Tommy
notes?
had a trick up his sleeve.
No, this is a
An
closed
old
book
friend.
exam.
Who, in the time they needed it
I'm
most,
sorry, I need to keep like
stepped up
looking
and
back and
offered
forth at
a
how I
hand.
did that.
For once
'Cause
since their
that's
banishment,
one
Tommy
over.
and Wilbur would have something
But is it
Lamemberg
one
couldn't.
out? I don't even know what
Tommy
I
and Wilbur
built and I made
had
this. Okay,
blade.
so this is on, that's flush, but this is
Technoblade.
one out.
Legend has it he can take
So
down
look
an
at this.
entire army
Yes,
with
okay.
only 2 other men. Legend has
I
it he
exhaust
once spent
myself
9
with how
months farming
low functioning
potatoes
my
to
brain
bully a
is.
guy he didn't even know.
A
Legend has it
Skarmory.
he once
Ooh.
entered 1,500 battles
Okay.
and won every single one of them. Legend has it he can kill Dream. After
I think
hiding
it'd
in
be
the
cool to
shadows
have,
and
like, a little
watching the
path
events of the election
going
unfold,
along here. You know, with
Technoblade
like
saw
some
an
vines
opportunity.
growing up here, maybe, and some moss.
Being an anarchist, Techno looked for any
oh,
opportunity
Techno!
to abolish
Oh,
government,
Techno.
and seeing hatred in Wilbur's eyes as the Lamemberg
You can
walls
see the
tumbled to
hatred.
ground, he knew this was his chance. Together, Tommy, Wilbur, and Technoblade would build up
You start
their new
with
base
chest
in a
spin. I
ravine
haven't seen anyone
underground.
start with that yet.
Keeping it a secret
I
from
think I
everyone on
have
the other side,
Totodile.
they hoped to grow their arsenal right under Schlatt's nose. And when the time came, they knew they had to regain control of Lamemberg at any cost.
I could just
After
make the
Technoblade
wall
was
this
escorted
instead
by
of having
Tommy
it
to their
textured, but I
base,
think that this would look
Schlatt
better.
gave a second presidential
Yeah, that's the
speech.
whole point, isn't it?
In this speech, he announced he would be changing the name of Lamemberg to Mamberg. Everything their nation stood for,
If he
every
wanted it to be
trace of
American, he
Wilbur and
would have called it
Tommy
New
was now
Manberg.
gone,
Fake fan.
and the preparation for war began. Tommy, Wilbur, and Technoblade began by naming their new home Pogtopia.
Ugh.
Just a few minutes later,
mean, yay.
Tommy stumbled across his old strip mine, meaning they now had a direct underground path to Manberg, and no one else knew. By the next day,
I'm gonna have to put that there at
Technoblade,
some point.
who according to himself stayed up all night, had created
pretty
a large
cozy, huh?
potato farm to supply Pogtopia with food. And Wilbur managed to convince Tubbo, a member of Schlatt's cabinet, to
This is
become
a shocking
spy
amount
for
of lore that's going on.
Within a few
now,
weeks from their
actually.
banishment, the resistance continued to build.
Okay, so it
Technoblade
goes
gathered
across
weapons.
here.
Tubbo
see that
informed
now.
Wilbur of all
So
of
for now,
Manberg's
to mark
plans,
that,
and the
I'm just
path to
gonna do
Manberg
this.
continued to expand.
Just for now,
Pogtopia flourished and was almost ready for
so I can
war.
remember where to
They
build
just
it out
needed
to.
the right time to strike. The nation of Manberg had changed a lot in this time. Office buildings arose, the Manberg flag was burned, and in its
Turn it
place
into corporate
sprouted a new
America.
flag. The Manberg flag.
Goodness, this is why
On the
people
surface,
hated him
things
so
in
much.
Manberg looked to be going smoothly. But deep down, Schlatt knew
He
it was
constructed
already
office
falling
buildings.
apart. Word of a
He put up a
rebellion
Kaiser
caught wind in the
Permanente right in
streets of
town
Manberg.
square.
A secret group of people
All
plotting
my
to take down
West
Schlatt.
Coasters will
The
get that
rumored
one.
Pogtopia, to Schlatt's dismay, was not hated by the people,
Ouch.
but seen as a force of good to save them from his ruthless rule. Many citizens attempted to help the rebellion.
He
by
made the
offering
cities
supplies and
unwalkable.
information.
No, sinks to my
Schlatt,
knees.
not wanting to lose any more people than he already had, could not stop them.
Oh wait, why did I
But
do
he
that?
could turn them
what am I
back.
doing? This? No,
As a
I
last
wasn't doing
resort
that. I
to
was doing
save his
this. I was
dying
going
country,
into this.
Schlatt decided to throw a celebration. A celebration of the new changes he had enacted as president, and a celebration of Manberg.
And boop.
He had announced the Manberg Festival.
Uh-oh, that looks trash.
This was their chance. Their chance
I
to
could
show
put, like, a
Manberg
strip of
how
window
powerful
there.
Pogtopia truly was. Their chance to scare Schlatt out
J
of
Shot
power.
was like the
Their
Pixies
chance
from Fairly
to
Odd
take back Manberg.
That's a
Wilbur
good
changed
reference
his
you just made.
The betrayal from his own
I haven't thought
people,
about that
the
in a
destruction
really
of
long
everything
time.
he'd worked for was starting to take a toll on him. On the day of their banishment,
Epic
Wilbur had said that
reference.
he was a slow-burning fuse and would soon be a much different man
I really
than the
need to
one
clear out
Schlatt
the
had
ceiling.
crossed. And now, more than ever, that fuse grew ever closer to an explosion. After the announcement of the festival, both Wilbur and Tommy knew this was a huge opportunity.
This could have
for
been
them.
done already if I wasn't
But Wilbur couldn't
so
shake a
hopeless.
dark feeling.
just aiming.
The festival was good. Everything Schlatt had done was completely legal. And yet, they still wanted to ruin it with their rebellion. Were they in the wrong? Were their actions justified? None of it mattered. Nothing changed the fact that
That's
Wilbur,
gonna annoy me forever.
after
There we
weeks
go.
of hiding away, had not made it any closer to getting back L'Manberg.
How long is
As
this?
the days passed,
Very.
so
Hold on,
did
I'll
the
check in
nation
1
he
second.
once loved. His unfinished
We're at 30
symphony.
minutes into the hour video.
A new plan
And we've
began
already
to come
watched
together for Wilbur.
an hour-long
Losing
video
all
as
hope
well
of gaining
as
back control,
like
Wilbur
a
chose destruction. After
like
all,
30-minute
he
video.
created that nation. It
Hello,
was
how's the
his.
Dream SMP
If
history
people can
lesson
stab him
going?
in the back,
There's a
betray
lot
the
more
very
than I
founder
thought
of
there
the
was
land
gonna
in which
be.
they lived. Why can't he do the same?
Like,
If he can't have
I'm
it,
not gonna lie to
no
you,
one
it is kind of interesting. I'm
This
sorry.
was the new plan.
If I was
Since
12,
the
I
beginning
probably
of
would have.
Pogtopia, a
No,
secret
I didn't watch
supporter fed them
Minecraft
supplies and an
YouTubers
offer of help
when I was
whenever
young.
needed. An old enemy.
And I only watch them
Dream.
now because I'm
The leader
dating
of the
one.
nation of the Greater Dream SMP
So I think that
was
makes
not
me
much of a
a
fan
little bit
of
of a
Schlatt's
different
ambition.
case.
Wilbur had every intention of keeping L'Manberg inside its walls and living peacefully. But when Schlatt became president, he immediately tore down the walls and began to expand.
No!
Seeing this as a potential threat, Dream secretly offered to help Pogtopia.
I was a team crafted
to take
head.
down
Yeah,
Schlatt
I never
before
watched
conflict
content like
arose
that. I didn't play
between Dream
Minecraft
SMP
until I
and
dated
Manberg.
Josh.
Wilbur,
And so
looking
I
for a
only
way
started
to
playing
blow
Minecraft
up
4
the
years ago.
entirety of Manberg, sought Dream's help to supply him with the firepower to do so.
I want all
But
this
before
coal.
he talked with Dream, he explained his plan to Tommy, his right-hand man and
Dude.
partner since the beginning. But Tommy could
I
not go
watched
through with
Jerome...
it. He still had hope of getting back
'cause he didn't
L'Manberg.
swear.
He still had hope
Real. I
that
watched
things
Jenna
could
Marbles.
go back to how they'd been before. He didn't want to be
I don't know how you
the
take a
bad guy.
neutral side on this. On
But
what? On
Wilbur
the
didn't
drama of
need his
Le
help.
Manberg?
All he needed was TNT, some redstone, and a button.
Had
before
Connor's
long,
story arc already
Dream had
happened?
agreed to supply
That's
Wilbur
right!
with
Oh my
everything he
gosh,
needed
Connor Eats
to
Pants
blow
was on the Dream
entire
SMP
city
and he put up a
sky high.
picture of Josh somewhere.
Within a few
I
minutes, the plan was
remember.
finalized.
Oh, thank you, dear
On
chatter.
the day of the festival,
Now I have something
directly
to
after
look forward
Tubbo's speech
to.
following the words, "Let the festival begin," Wilbur would make his way to the detonation room,
I need to go
press the
mining
button,
pretty soon
and
here.
destroy everything. With every seat in the front of the podium filled, with every citizen of Manburg sat right there in the city, he would blow up everything.
Oh,
And he would do it with a smile.
okay.
The day of the festival
Good on
finally
him.
arrived.
Creepy.
October
No.
16th.
I'll make some copper
The
bars
stage
on
was
it,
set,
'cause I would like
decorations
a
sprung
telescope.
from every corner, and everyone was ready for a celebration.
This won't stay like that, I promise.
Everyone
I'm just
except Wilbur and Tommy.
trying to do something.
Having rigged the entire nation with TNT, Wilbur's plan was still a go. He just
Plan
needed
is
to wait.
simple. Oh, do
And
you
as
remember the
festival
good
drew
old
closer,
days?
more and more people logged on to
The
party.
good old days of Chonton.
They all gathered at the presidential podium. Tommy and Wilbur hid on top of a nearby building to attend the festival in secret. Among the attendees was Technoblade.
Sometimes I miss it, I'm not
who,
gonna lie.
unbeknownst to Schlatt,
How
was
things
on
were in like
Pugtopia's
2020.
side.
Despite the
With
horrendous
Tubbo having been debriefed on the plan before,
plague
all the pieces were
that
in
was
place.
happening, that was very scary.
Today would be the
and
day
I lost my
everything
job.
changed.
But
The festival officially
I
began
miss
as
how
Schlatt gave a
like
quick speech.
internet culture used to
Following
be.
the speech, the people of Manburg and Technoblade went off to party at Carl's Party Island.
How do you watch this with a
Upon seeing
neutral
the
reaction?
people,
I would cringe and yell
his
at things for how
friends,
dumb they are. I'm
happy,
gonna be honest, some of the
Wilbur began
storytelling
having
is like
second
kind of
thoughts about
intense. It's a
blowing
little
up
cool
Manburg.
that they made
And so,
That they
to
made
help
something
bring
like
himself to
this.
clarity, he called Tubbo over to talk with him and Tommy.
I was there for that stream.
Wilbur
What
explained
stream?
his dilemma. The innocent people that would be at risk for his selfish
Oh,
gain.
my neck.
Tubbo agreed with Tommy that there were better
Do you remember
ways
the
to
days of
handle the
quick and wholesome
situation,
iDubbbz
but
Chonten
also
Chop? I
trusted
do,
Wilbur's
and I
better
remember the
judgment.
phrase, either all of it's
Entirely
okay,
unsatisfied
or
with his
none of it's
answer,
okay.
Wilbur
And
decided
I
he
remember
would make
thinking to
Tubbo
myself,
choose
I
for
don't
him.
know if I agree with that, iDubbbz,
The
but
fate
keep
of
opening the
Manburg
mail and
rested
spray
on
that paint
Tubbo's
right
shoulders.
into your mouth.
And as Tubbo received the news from Wilbur, he was
I
called up
remember
to the
that.
stage to give his speech.
iDubbbz did not have
If
that effect
Tubbo
on
said
me.
the
I
words,
never
"Let the
said words
festival
like
begin,"
that.
Wilbur
I
would
always knew
immediately
better.
sprint to the button and detonate all of it. But if he didn't, Manburg would live to see another day.
There.
And so, with the entire nation balancing on his words,
Yeah.
Tubbo gave his speech.
Wilbur blowing up
Ladies and
Manburg.
gentlemen, I'd like you to look around at what we've built today. Look at each other. All of this, thanks to democracy and the leadership of Jay Schlatt.
This is
And isn't that what
democracy
this festival's
manifest.
all about? Democracy. Our people have been beaten down by royals and dictators for so long. Now we are finally free. Free to
Who's
elect
talking
who we
right
want,
now?
free to live how we want, and most
Sorry, I
importantly,
should've been paying
free to
attention.
go wherever we want without the confine of those huge black walls. So with that in mind, I'd like to thank everyone for coming to this wonderful event.
Phil's involvement
What's
is
up,
super
You got
crazy
anything
in
else
this
in the
because the
speech?
fact that he was
No,
about to
well,
play
no, let
SMP
the
Live, but
festival
everything
begin.
happened
Wilbur
in
ran.
the same
The
stream.
deed
He
was
got
done,
invited
and
to the
today
SMP
will be
while this was
Manburg's
happening.
last.
Wait,
Within
what? What are you
seconds, the
talking about?
entire country would be reduced to rubble.
So SMP Live was going
all
on
Wilbur
when all
needed
of
to
this
do was
was.
wait for Tubbo to clear the stage,
I thought I was
and it would all
misremembering.
be
I should
destroyed.
make a window in here somewhere.
But something wasn't right. Before Tubbo could leave the podium, Schlatt and Quackity quickly trapped him with concrete and cobblestone.
No, not
Confused,
concrete and cobblestone.
Tubbo
That's
asked
his
for
only
an explanation,
weakness.
And Wilbur ran back to the building to see what was happening. Then Schlatt gave another speech.
I feel
Unlike
like I'm
all
moving
that
so
came before,
slowly.
and it didn't take long for the true nature
This exact
of the
stream was the
gathering
day
to be revealed.
SMP Live ended?
This was never meant to
Nuh-uh,
be a
no
party.
way.
There was never
How
anything
did SMP
to
Live
celebrate.
end? Okay, that's the next documentary
This
you're
was
watching,
no
and I will have
festival.
Josh here for it
No,
to give commentary.
this was an execution.
Is that okay with everyone?
Tubbo,
Yeah?
I know what you've been up to.
What have I been up? What are you talking
What
about?
have I been up to? He says, what?
Actually, I'm
Josh
actually
loves
trapped
talking
in
about
this
SMP
flat.
Live. He loves
Idiots
reminiscing.
With the tyrants
What do you?
that we kicked out of this server, that we kicked out of this great country. but I don't know. I don't know
I'll
if you
do
know
like
this,
a-
but treason
I'll do this.
isn't exactly a respectable
Doesn't that sound
thing
kinda
around
good?
here. I know what you've been doing. It
I'll go
all adds
bleh.
up, buddy. Your absence from great events. I mean, you walked off in the middle of this
Oh,
one.
I want a nice
Don't
coffee.
try
Oh,
and
I'm
tell me
thinking
that
about it as a nice
you've done
coffee.
nothing wrong, because everybody knows it. Do you know what happens?
But I wanted to wait
to
at
Traders,
least until
Tubbo?
1 o'clock. Oh, it's 1:05. Okay.
Nothing good.
Everybody, we're at a good stopping point. Apparently something big is about to happen. I'm gonna be right back. Please take a second to stretch and get a snack. Maybe a water, maybe a coffee. It's gonna take me approximately 5 minutes to pee and get a snack. So everybody else do the same so I don't feel bad, okay? How's that sound? I gotta go back to work, enjoy the rest. Goodbye, Gold Surge Man. You're timing me? Oh, that makes me nervous. Gonna make a Sammy? Oh, that sounds so good. Very loud? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. I will be right back, alright? That's what the screen says. Hello. Hello. What were you guys talking about? I just cracked my jaw. Talking about Carson? Uh-oh. 7.5 minutes? Did you actually time me? I'm sorry. I have a cold brew made, but for some reason I didn't want to use it. I don't know what's wrong with me. I have made cold brew, but I was like, I'm just gonna brew coffee really quick over ice, and that's what I did. And I wish I had done the other thing. I just wasted my own time. Ah. Who is ready to go back to exactly what we were doing? I'm enjoying this. Is everyone else?
Blade, you want to come up here for a second?
This is just the right amount of stimulation for me.
I only called you in for special favors. Techno, I need you to take him out. You're not gonna take him out to dinner, bro. You're gonna kill him. You're gonna kill him right now. And make it hurt. Oh, I'd rather rule alone than with you.
Technoblade!
He's off and off.
Tubbo, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'll make it as painless, as colorful as possible.
Oops. No! I'm the worst.
Kill everybody! Chat, where's the button? Chat, where's the button?
Come on. Oh, I need to refer to you guys as chat more. That's like the streamer thing. Come on. You can do it. Just jump and put the jump and put the log. Jump and put the log. This is unbelievable. I'm sorry. There we go. Does that look pretty nice, huh?
Had gone completely off the rails.
I think I should strip it. I love the look of stripped logs
Their
personally.
partners since the start of Pogtopia had betrayed their
Yeah, I'm
cause
into that.
and
Yep.
executed Tubbo. As the people of Manberg gathered back at the podium, they were angry. Schlatt had taken things way too far. Standing up for Tubbo, Nikki, or Niachu, openly stated her opposition to the government.
I could just
and what
put
they
this
had become.
down.
As Schlatt was about to order her
You
execution
hate
as
stripped
well,
logs? I
Wilbur
love a good
stepped
stripped
in,
log.
no longer afraid of being seen.
You sure you want fireplace? It can't be a log
Schlatt had
cabin
done
without a
not only to
fireplace.
Kevin Tommy, but to his own people as well.
I just don't know how to properly
Then,
execute it.
Distracting the associates of the government, Wilbur told
You're
Nikki
back and you
to
have
run,
sandwich?
saving her
Popeye's
from
chicken
execution.
sandwich.
Following
I'm so
the
happy for
chaos,
you right now in this
Tommy,
moment.
Tubbo, Wilbur, and Technoblade met at
Here's what I'm
Pogtopia.
thinking.
Tensions were high. Tommy, enraged by Techno's actions, the killing of his best friend, challenged him to a duel with no weapons. As Nikki showed up to join
Watch this.
Pogtopia, Techno and Tommy
Bellers, I
prepared
would
for
like
the
you to
duel.
watch this.
Wilbur,
Boop.
in love with chaos, sat
Boop.
enthusiastically as
I
his
sounded
two
like
friends
Sombra Overwatch right there, didn't I? That was kind of like Overwatch.
Technoblade won the duel.
Oh, look at
And
you,
as
the
the rest of
moon.
Pogtopia continued to process what had just
Okay.
happened,
Oh,
Wilbur
how am I
spoke
gonna
to
do this
Techno.
fireplace,
And
dude?
within seconds,
Maybe
the two agreed
maybe
that
I
the
don't
next
put
time the
this
chance came,
pillar down and I
they
just
would
have
both
these
team
two
up
and put a
to
fire
destroy
there?
everything.
No, I don't know what to do.
After the events of
Watching
the
an
festival,
ad.
Manberg
Ugh.
began to spiral into
Hi,
chaos.
ad watchers.
Tubbo was not just a
Thanks
friend
for
of Tommy's, but a
watching
friend
my
of everyone.
ads.
And Schlatt
What's
ordered
your
his death in
favorite
cold blood.
Minecraft
What little support
block?
Schlatt still had faded away. One by one, his own people deserted his nation to join the uprising.
Let's see. Oh, I need to
Funny,
finish that. That's gonna
Punk,
annoy
and
me.
Jack Manifold had all left.
Jack
leaving
Manifold!
Quackity,
I thought
Carl,
that he was a
Schlatt
musician for a
alongside
very
Manberg.
long time. I did not
But
know he
this
was a
relationship
Minecrafter.
was not without its troubles.
Purple
For
stained
weeks,
glass
Schlatt
panes.
had
That is a
ordered
good one.
Quackity around, insulting him and completely disregarding his ideas. It
There we go.
was enough. Quackity was more than
Oh, would it
shots
look good to
on.
do
He
fence
had
all
to
along
show
this,
it.
huh?
After an intense argument about
Now that I'm
whether
looking
or
at
not
it.
the White House should be teared down,
Hmm.
Quackity was finally fed up, killing Schlatt and running off to join Pogtopia. Welcoming him with open arms, the rebellion
How many
sharpened
times
their
did people
swords,
die? My
loaded their
goodness.
bows, and prepared for one final attack on Manberg.
Eeh.
In mere
Perish,
days,
perish,
Tommy,
perish,
Wilbur,
perish.
and Tubbo would have their chance to take back the nation they once loved and bring peace to the SMP. But first, some
Yeah, maybe I
last-minute
put like the
allegiance changes
thing
occurred.
all along
Not
here.
long after the festival, a new faction arose on the SMP. Although it would not be officially recognized
That would
for
look
quite
good,
a
I
while,
think.
the group still vowed to play a role in the upcoming war.
Killed wholesome J-Sword.
Created by Bad Boy
Hello.
Halo, the nation of the Badlands consisted of Bad Boy Halo, Ant Frost, who also joined the SMP. shortly
And
after
Frost,
the
why
training,
is that guy everywhere?
Awesome Dude, and Skeppy. Together, these four sought to take control of the server through always helping the losing
Let's
side
see
of
how
the
this
battle
looks.
to keep conflict going indefinitely. Although
Just
Manberg
add a
was
bit of
clearly
texture,
leading
you know?
Utopia, for the upcoming battle, the Badlands would support the rebellion. At least until they were winning. Most of the members of Dream's
Oh, maybe
faction,
that
the
doesn't
Greater
look good.
Dream SMP, remained
No, I don't
neutral
like
during
that.
the battle, not
I
wanting
just wanted to
create
add some texture.
unnecessary
Maybe I'll do
enemies.
some spruce planks, huh?
That being said, some could not just stand by and watch their friends fight to the death. One of these players was Eric.
It's underscore Josh.
After
Oh, okay.
betraying L'Manberg in the previous war, Eric was made king of the Greater Dream SMP for his efforts. He
Josh
enjoyed
tweet. Wait,
his
did they
place
mention it and I just didn't see?
Everywhere he went, he was reminded of that fateful
There's some
day
texture.
by the people he helped destroy. He couldn't
Yeah.
live with the decisions he made. He regretted it all. But no apology would make up for what he did. No one would forgive him.
Much better. Thank
he
you.
decided to
Please
show
tell
his
me when
allegiance
something is
and
ugly.
rebuild his trust.
If something looks like trash,
He would
please
fight
say it.
with Pogtopia. But there was a catch.
Uh,
Upon hearing word of Eric's plans, Dream rushed
there,
over to the
this,
castle immediately.
and this,
There, he
and
explained
this.
that if Eric wished to fight in the war, he would have
I
to
need a
forfeit his position
torch.
as king. Eric once again faced the choice between his
Oh, I
friends
could do
and
like a
power.
little plank to come down
this
here
time,
and like a little
he
path
chose
going in
differently.
between here.
Schlatt
Wouldn't
was
that be
running out
cute?
of options. As of now, his army
No, he just
consisted of
tweeted.
himself
Oh,
and
just now?
Carl,
Sorry.
which, you know,
Oops! Oh my gosh, I just punched the mic. I'm sorry.
because of this,
Oh,
Schlatt
sorry.
chose his last resort, calling a secret meeting with Dream.
Ah.
Schlatt conceded to Dream in exchange for fighting alongside him in the war.
Uh-oh.
A secret book.
Oh.
Something the only person
Ow.
who knew the
Oh, don't
contents
worry. I'll
was
take care
Schlatt
of it.
himself.
Ugh.
But
I'm
whatever it
sorry.
was, made
I
Dream
deserve
risk
to
his
be
own
down
nation's
here.
relationship with nearly everyone on the server. He immediately
Yeah.
accepted the deal
This is
and
where I
agreed
go.
To fight alongside Manberg. With
Josh is
this,
tweeting about the
stage
stand
was set.
drawing.
The final
Josh
pieces moved
Expert.
into place. The war was set for November 16th.
Oh,
Exactly
yeah.
1 month after
The worst,
festival. The battle drew near as days turned to hours and hours.
the worst thing about it is like,
This was it. The
I
battle
don't
to
I
end
don't know
all
if
battles.
Bird really minds that much, or at least he doesn't seem like he does. So I think that just encourages people. Can't believe this has to. Here, hold on. For those of you who don't want to check Twitter, I'll quickly read Josh's tweet. Josh just tweeted, I can't believe this has to be said again, but please stop drawing smut of me and my friends. I thought I had a reputation for not liking that kind of stuff, but it seems like some people didn't get the memo. Please do not project your romantic fantasies onto my friends and I. Minecraft viewers be normal challenge impossible. Bird doesn't care at all. Yeah. It does suck because Josh has always made it very clear that that makes him uncomfortable. Yeah. That's the current sitch. I didn't know there was smut. I did look at the Tumblr and I saw a lot. Personally, like, it's not my place to be comfortable or uncomfortable with it. I know that there are like fan fictions of him, and I've always had the opinion on it of Josh doesn't like it, so I, you know, will obviously take a hard stance against it. But I can't believe people wouldn't know that Josh doesn't feel that way. Bert doesn't care as much. It's not actually him as a person, it's just his little character guy, yeah. Well, I guess people have really taken to drawing Josh, like, disintegrating into the purple guy. But for Josh, it's his literal real-life face. Yeah, that is a good point, Flynn. I did not think of that. I did not think of it like that. Yeah. I've had someone ask me before. This was way back. This was years ago. When I was not publicly dating Josh, but people had kind of figured. I had someone ask me if NSFW made him uncomfortable. And I was like, well, yeah, he's like very clear about that. And they were like, oh, I thought I would just ask you. And it's like, what? Why would my opinion make it any different? You know, I can't give a thumbs up to drawing smut of someone else, despite it being my boyfriend or not. If he doesn't like it, he doesn't like it. But people were just like so desperate to draw him with his wiener out that they went to me and asked. Those were crazy days back then. I think a lot of ex-Dream SMP viewers are watching Josh now. I mean, he's doing a fantastic job on this server. I will give it to him again and again and again. He's doing so good. And he's really having chemistry with a lot of people now that he's not under the foot of, you know, other content creators like who control the bits. Sprit, welcome. So I do think that he is gaining a big new audience, but personally, like watching and moderating his chat and looking at his community, I haven't seen anything cringe. When your relationship wasn't public, I used to mod in his chat a lot. Yes, I was in every stream, and I also modded for a lot of other people. That was kind of my role in the community. Like I said, I lost my job in the pandemic. I didn't really have anything better to do. So I was like big time moderator, and that's where people kind of made sense of it. Some people realized that I was in every Josh stream and might have been a little bit closer to Josh. He also followed me on everything. But back when I wasn't public, I was the people's mod. That was my thing. I used to take modding so serious. I was so cringe. Well, not that I would take it seriously. I talked about this the other day. I'd be like, oh man, does this deserve a 20-minute or a 10-minute timeout? Just that kind of thing. Not the drama that would happen. That stuff is crazy. Mod drama is where the YouTube documentaries could be made. That stuff is wildin'. Remember the 64 stream where I had to mute like 8 people? I've probably muted a lot more than that in one go. I just knocked him out. I went pa 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 pa. Will you be a barista again? I am currently a bartender, actually. And my second job that I'm starting this weekend is gonna be doing cashiering. My favorite moment from this era was in a MediaShare stream where you asked if you could approve something with a swear, and it was the 4 Big Guys song. That was really... I also remember... Okay, so he has a bunch of mods in charge of his MediaShare now, because it used to just be me and Chunky. And we let anything through. We did not care. And so, 4 big guys, and they buzzed in my eyes. It's like the... I also remember this one time, it was the Sexy Bionicles video, and I was showing it to Chunky. We were doing it together. And I was like, oh, this one's really funny. I'm gonna save it for later. And I meant to like click on it, but I clicked accept the moment Josh's butt was out of the room. Like the second he got out of his chair, I accepted the Sexy Bionicles video. He wanted to be mad so bad, but it was such a funny video. He came back to just bionicle boobs plastered across his screen. And I was like frantically in chat because I didn't know that I could skip it back then. I didn't know that that was something I could do. And so I was like, oh no, I'm so sorry. Those are good times. I don't mod the media share anymore. Isaac and other Josh mods do a fantastic job. Because back when I did it, I was like, what's he gonna do? Break up with me? And I just put anything through. Claws Unmasked, thank you for following. We're talking about mod stories. Oh my gosh. I remember I met a lot of my really good internet friends through modding. And back when I modded for Carson, he would stream at such stupid hours that only the Australians were awake. And that's why I know so many Australian people, is because they were all modding for Carson, because those were the hours he would stream. I love Media Share. I hope it gets fun again with all the new viewers. You're in luck, because Josh is actually piecing together some stuff for Media Share. Really exciting. We're trying to get back into that, because it's good content, you know? Like, there's a reason people ask for it all the time, and I know he doesn't love to do it, but, yeah. He won't break up with you, he will make sure you never escape. That's the thing. Josh and I have agreed that the only way we will break up is if one of us dies. We're very content with our relationship. Do I need to? I don't need to knock on wood or anything, but I sincerely don't think Josh and I will ever break up. It's just one of those relationships that you're like very sure about, you know? It's like, I know he's not gonna cheat on me. I know that I'm not gonna cheat on him. We just kind of hang out. My favorite media share was when they let in 4 Carson videos. I don't remember that. I remember one time Josh was streaming at his parents' house, and so sometimes when he would like leave the room, you never knew how long he was gonna leave for. And so I put on like an entire Germa VOD while he was gone. And like chat was actually like, oh, okay. And people were just like quietly watching the Germa VOD. He did cheat on me with Ultrive, yeah, and on the SMP. He has been kissing men on the cheek on the SMP, but you know what? I'll let it slide. I'll let it slide. Germa! I think we're enjoying this break from the lore. But now I'm finally having energy. I'll give good reactions. I'll be louder. Here, I'll turn my mic down. Ah! I'll be more energetic. Trust me, don't worry about it. What other awful mod stories do I have? Dude, I'm such a gamer. I just looked outside and expected there to be snow like there is in Minecraft right now. Martin! Hello. Welcome. God, what else do I have? I remember I got Isaac Y mod because I showed up to one Osu stream and my Australian friend was modding for him, and then another girl was like, oh, that's Josh's girlfriend, and so they both started spamming the absolute hell out of chat, being like, mod her! And then he did. He like paused Osu to mod me, and then I never showed up in a single Isaac Y stream ever again because he streams at 4 in the morning. The Carson media share happened when Josh got a bunch of new mods and they were dumb enough to add them while Josh was playing Roblox. Naturally. Naturally. Look, okay, all I let through was NSFW. At least I didn't let through a Carson vid. Yeesh, tugs at collar. Shirt collar, not like dog collar or anything. Well, I don't know why anyone would think dog collar. Was I the only one who thought dog collar? No? I don't know. So nice to see him enjoying content creation. That is, yes. I am in the same boat. I have been like actually watching his entire streams lately because it's so clear that he's having a good time. So I'm glad to know that other people are enjoying it just as much. It's the year of Josh. Hello, Will. How are you? I don't think a single soul thought dog collar. Yeah, I just embarrassed myself a little bit. Anyway, here's this.
There was a traitor,
There was a
In the
traitor.
midst of Pogtopia,
A mole.
there was a
Oh, why did
traitor.
I put myself down
A few
here?
days prior to the war, Dream had spread word that a traitor lied in the rebellion. Over the days leading to the war, tension ran high in Pogtopia, but no one cracked. The rumored traitor had not made a move, and some questioned whether this traitor ever existed in the first place. Unanimously, everyone decided to
I
move
could
forward
just do
with the war,
pillar.
vowing to destroy the imposter the second
like, put some
they
art
showed
on
their
it, huh?
true allegiances. With
Oh, I
this,
turned it
the
all
two
into
sides
spruce
prepared
planks.
for battle. Wilbur and his army
Cool.
conversed about the possible outcomes of the war, and Wilbur plainly stated that if they lost,
Oh, that could
he
look
would turn
sick.
the entirety of Manberg to smithereens. Altogether, he had laced 11 and a half stacks of TNT under Manberg. And the second they lost, he would ignite every last piece of it. Tommy feared the thought too much and assured everyone they would not lose. Technoblade,
Who do I think the
however,
traitor is?
endorsed the idea of chaos. While the rest of
Chubba.
Pogtopia had been engaging in petty conflicts and drama, he had been preparing weaponry for the past month. Such is the life of Technoblade. Upon informing the army of his secret stash, he led
Ooh,
them
this
all
looks
through the
good,
forest
doesn't
and
it?
into a lake to his underground base.
That's like a
As they
super
descended
contrast,
into
and
the
I could put
armory,
like a painting
everyone
here or
was
something.
shocked.
And like
The
red
walls were
carpet.
lined with
Ooh!
chests, and the armor stands
Red
engulfed
carpet, that's
by
the move.
netherite armor. If anyone wasn't prepared before, now
It's crazy to see
they
all the
were.
people talking about Dream SMP
The
before
army
they all
swept the
came out.
chests, grabbing
Oh,
anything and everything that would
Yeah.
help them in their pursuit of victory.
yeah.
Fully geared, the group
Sorry.
exited Techno's base, gathering at the foot
Looks
of the path
classy.
to Manberg.
Thank you.
Months of buildup.
Oh,
led
there's that
to
block.
This moment,
Come
their
here.
chance at freedom once again.
No. You're
The
like
sun
in
began to set.
interstellar mode right
The
now. You're
people
stuck
took
between the
one last
bookcase.
look at each other.
What the
Friends,
heck?
enemies, it didn't matter.
What the heck?
Today, they were
There,
something more.
goodness me.
And as they took one final glance down the dreaded path, they knew it was time for war.
I could just push
And
this
with
all
a fiery
down.
passion
That could
only
look
he
good.
could, Tommy charged ahead, leading his army to battle, to take back their home. Schlatt and Dream's army held a watchtower at the end of the path and immediately began firing upon Pogtopia's arrival.
So at SDMP number 1, no
Knowing that the
groomer.
absence of cover gave them a huge disadvantage, the army quickly rushed
I
the
don't want that
tower
there.
to
I
force
don't like that
Manberg
there.
off from below.
I don't like that there.
Within seconds,
Maybe
the
I do.
first few to reach
I
the
haven't
top of
decided
the
yet.
tower
me
forced
think.
Dream and his men to retreat back into Manberg. Unlike the last war, this time the rebellion was in control. Holding the tower, Pogtopia rained arrows on the Manberg army, who fired back. It didn't take long for Pogtopia to realize they were winning, and immediately they coordinated another push on the Manberg army. Jumping off the tower, the armies engaged in close-range combat, and Carl became the first death, falling to Technoblade. They were winning.
Is that kind of
The
cool?
army continued to attack Dream and even forced Purple
Maybe?
to surrender, turning him to their side.
Oops.
Running out of options, Dream stopped fighting and requested to speak alone with Wilbur. As they started to talk, Dream pointed out that he made a mistake to fight with Schlatt, as despite his entire nation being attacked and having bribed one of the most powerful men
Diego,
on the server
hello.
to supply him an army, Schlatt didn't
Shoot,
even
I'm
bother
always
to
one
show up.
fence short.
Upon realizing this,
Glad
Dream
Techno
saw
wasn't
no
one of those.
point in
Techno was one of the
continuing
good
battle
ones,
and announced
wasn't he?
Manberg.
He had like a
Surrender.
flawless legacy, didn't he?
But Schlatt wasn't gone yet. After announcing the surrender, Dream led
Nice to
everyone
see
the
two
remains of
abusers
the camp,
squashing the beef. Wait, Schlatt?
like
Not
Schlatt,
Schlatt.
broken and unchained,
Goodness me.
the leader of a dying nation at the end of his reign. Both armies gathered around to witness what would be his final moments. In one final act of despise, Wilbur, a man once broken by Schlatt,
I've gotta do
cast away
something with
from
this,
his
but I
own
don't
land,
know yet.
ordered Tommy to execute him, to put a stop to the tyranny and injustice of an unfit ruler,
Okay.
and to
I
finally
think I
end
like that idea
the
to put the
reign
stairs all
of
around the
Manberg.
room. On the topic of media
But
share, do you know
before
how
Tommy could
long the
pull the trigger,
fish on bit
Schlatt
has been
began acting
going? Oh
strange
my goodness,
and-
so long. I would the start of SMP Live, because a lot of those pictures were from that era. He was so young in the pictures.
The
Well,
Cam
Jay
Archive.
Schlatt did something
The
in
place where Manberg
1999.
began and the place
that a bit?
Manberg would end.
I'm sorry, I'm not very up to date
With
on my
Slack gone for
J-Schlat
good,
lore.
Pogtopia had won the war, taken back Manberg. Or should I say,
Look at how many levels I
love
have. I haven't died in forever.
Dream announced that there was never a traitor in the first place, and the whole thing was made up to distract them. With this,
Oh, I don't have to
they
work
needed
tonight.
a
Wait, hold on. I
leader
just
for
got
their
called off of work.
Someone strong.
I just got called off of work. Holy schmoly. Well, I'm gonna be streaming all day, I guess. That's exciting because I actually don't feel good at all right now. I have an illness and I do not feel good. We're gonna get so much crafting done. Well, actually, Josh is about to go live. So, there's that, but, yeah. Where's that? Come here, glow lichin? Yeah, that's pretty nice, isn't it? My boss didn't even say anything. He just texted me and he was like, "It's been too slow to have another person here. I'm cutting you. Thank you for understanding." That's all he said. He wasn't even like, "Do you mind?" Well, why would he be? What's happening? Josh is going to be streaming Skyblock, so I don't think I can compete with that. So I will probably just end when he goes live and raid him. Our audience is far too much of an overlap for me to try to mess with that. New follower. Hello, Hirai. Hirai? I'm like now on Creeper Watch. I'm so scared since that incident. Boop-a-doop. I can't believe I don't have to work tonight. The weather is also awful. I kinda had a hunch. When the weather's bad, the boss tends to call off people. Ah, I never make enough stairs. I love the stream, but it was genuinely overstimulating at times. Yeah, I was baking when that was going on. I was making a batch of caramel sauce, which turned out very well, if you were wondering. And I would just hear shrieking every couple seconds. I mean, I don't know. I could theoretically keep streaming, but I just don't think that it would be worth it. You know? I need more spruce. Put this here. Ladder. I need to get rid of this snow. Go in there. Reminded me of Gmod FNAF stream. I don't know what you're talking about, actually. I'm a fake fan. It's okay, it's my boyfriend. I do feel bad when I don't attend all of his streams, but at the same time, how can I? Oh my gosh, it is pouring rain outside. Streamer abandons loyal viewers. How has that not grown yet? Goodness. One with Circle, Isaac Y, and Ultra. Yeah, I don't remember that one. I was probably not watching. Or at work.
Leader.
The innocent answers, I was
And
probably
for
at
some
work.
reason, Wilbur chose
Do you guys want
Tommy
me to do media share sometime?
agreed, and Tommy took his place on the
Cheeks
stage
get
to give his
rosy, has
first
big
speech
lollipop in
as
hand.
president of Lemamber.
Bats
It looks
eyelashes.
like we won. And I
Mine
never
would
thought
have
I'd
to be
say
a free
this,
media share though.
but even after the hardships, the tyranny we've been through, it was
You have a
meant to
great
be.
old man voice. Did I do an old
As
man
much as
voice
this
and
is
not
everything,
realize
this
it?
is what-
Words just fly
this
out
is
of my
what
mouth
would
at
have
the
been
speed of light.
I can't be the president. I've still got unfinished business. Because you've still got those discs. I can't do this until we're done. So Wilbur, take your place.
Is that an igloo out there?
I have something to say.
Huh?
Look, I'm gonna keep this brief, right?
No, I don't think
also
it is.
cannot be your president. Techno,
Is it?
you've taught me a lot.
No?
You've taught me that
Is
government is not the way to
Now
go.
I need to check.
And I agree with you. To be honest, I feel
Meow.
like whilst I can't be here to judge how other people's governments are ran, I
Mwah.
can say that it would be hypocritical of me to run a government. So I'm gonna hand off the presidency to someone.
They're gonna give it to
Tubbo,
Schlatt.
I want you to come up onto the stage.
Oh, it tricked me.
I've been put on the spot here. I
Have they
wasn't
blown up
expecting to be
L'Manberg yet? It sounds like
surrounded
they've
by
done
here
it
with
multiple times, actually.
Friends, enemies, which I don't
Hello,
know all that
Polar
much, I'll be
Bear.
honest. But
Are you
I enjoy seeing
kind?
the unity, and I feel like that's really what matters. I don't want to
You would like to be left alone.
be an
I will
agent
do
of
so.
chaos, if you will, or anyone who wants to start violent activity. That's
I'm gonna
honestly
take
the
a
last
sip
thing
of
on my
my
agenda
cold
right now.
brew.
And I feel like, you know, now everyone's
Yum,
here
yum.
in unity. No one is banned, and that's what counts. Thank you, everyone. It's been an honor. It's been.
Tubbo was now the president of New L'Manberg, and following the speech, everyone teamed up to take down the decorations from the festival. Tommy congratulated Tubbo on his new position,
No, why
and
am I doing so
L'Manberg
bad?
celebrated its
Nyeh.
freedom
There we go.
once again. But Wilbur was nowhere.
Oh my
to be
gosh,
seen.
it is pouring rain
In the light
outside.
of their celebration,
Oh, I haven't
blinded
been
by
over here
bliss,
for long enough. It hasn't
nobody
loaded.
had noticed
Shoot.
Wilbur sneaking away from the crowd, alone. That's what he was, alone, sent on an ever-diverging path from sanity.
Perish.
He made his way to the back of the hill.
Minecraft
This
spiders are
time,
the only
he made
spiders
sure
I can
to mark
tolerate.
the entrance. This time, the plan wouldn't fail. And as the people celebrated outside, Wilbur entered the
And as the
detonation
people
chamber.
celebrated outside.
The words of the L'Manberg anthem enveloped the cold stone walls. And
Cold
the single
stone?
button stood
As in the
middle
creamery?
of the room, had the power to destroy it all. Outside, the celebration came to an abrupt
Come
end
here.
when Dream revealed that there actually was,
Kia.
and still is, a traitor. Almost on command, Technoblade shot his firework launcher, killing Tubbo again. The people were in shock.
No, did you destroy my
and the following
EXP?
events would change
Aw.
L'Manberg
Oh well.
forever.
You
Kinda did that
guys
to myself.
listen to me. I did not spend weeks planning this revolution, giving you guys gear for you guys
This guy
to go
does not
in
have
and
the energy to do
replace
this.
one tyrant with another.
The thing that I built this nation for doesn't exist anymore. The thing I work towards.
I can
doesn't
see why
exist
people
anymore.
took this
It's over.
very
What are
seriously.
you doing?
They put
Don't
a
you
lot
see what's
into it.
happening here? Don't you see
I want you
history
to die.
repeating itself? You think Schlatt was the cause of your problems? No. It was
I want you to
government.
die.
All right, well, everyone just walked off in the middle of my speech. I'm killing everyone. We're killing everyone.
Let's get him! Phil, I'm always so close to pressing
Shoot,
the button.
I thought I had that.
I've been here like 7 or 8 times. I've been here.
And you want to just blow it all up.
The government ends here. I'll kill it myself.
I could harvest some
You know who
sand
was the
while I wait
traitor?
for my mega trees. Oh,
There was a saying
mega tree.
by a traitor.
All good things come to those who wait, eh?
Once part of L'Manberg. It was never meant to be.
Oh my god.
L'Manberg! No! Do I get a disc? Oh.
Oh my god.
I thought if a creeper blew up a skeleton, you got a disc.
It's all gone.
L'Manberg, no!
The people stood in shock as Wilbur and Phil stood in the now exposed detonation room. Having completed his
Not
mission,
new
Wilbur
L'Manberg.
was free at last.
My L'Manberg, Phil! My unfinished symphony, forever unfinished! If I can't have this, no one can, Phil!
Goodness.
Kill me, Phil. Phil, kill me. Phil, kill me.
My day
Phil,
is
stab
ruined.
me with the sword. Murder me now.
No matter what you want, I can't.
Phil, kill me, Phil. Murder me. Look, they all want you to.
This is so dramatic. Brap, how could Wilbur do this?
A mere memory of an idea.
What the hell did you just
What he
type in
saw
my
all this time,
chat?
and now
Did
finally
King
found.
Ass Ripper possess you?
But Technoblade was not satisfied.
Oh, I can't believe they did this. Oh. Baby zombie! Oh, two baby zombie!
You're a hero.
is?
I have a healthy fear of these things.
You just wanted power.
Too fast. Too baby.
Tommy, you just did a coup. You just did a hostile government takeover and
Ow!
immediately
Oh!
instilled yourself as president.
I just phased through
And you
one.
gave it to your friend, but that's still a tyrant, Tommy. But the thing about this world
Oh my goodness, what is hurting me?
is that good things don't
Oh,
happen to
scary
heroes.
skeleton.
Let me tell you a
What
story.
does the chain do?
The story of a man called Theseus. His
Cavalry,
country,
hello.
well, the
Slowness,
city-state
I see.
was in danger, and he sent
I just
himself
want
forward.
trees,
And
dude.
dead
I
in
just
line,
want
he
trees.
slayed the Minotaur.
Get over
and
here.
saved the
Don't
city.
turn into
You know
the...
what they did to
Oh,
him,
they're
Tommy?
synchronized swimming.
They
You guys are so talented, but I really don't want you to be
in disgrace,
drowned.
despised by his people.
Because I don't like the noises that
That's
you
what
make.
happens to heroes, Tommy. The Greeks knew the score. But if you want to be a hero, Tommy, that's fine. That's fine.
Xenoblade, don't do this.
Don't do this, Techno.
So
Don't.
close.
Do you want to be a hero, Tommy?
Give me your
You
bow.
want to be a hero, Tommy? Then die like one!
Ha 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 ha.
This was the real
Moo
war.
ha 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 ha.
Technoblade and Dream fought to protect the Withers. The world erupted into chaos.
You're gonna fight me. You're gonna fight me like a man. My sword's about to break.
I'm shooting from
Maybe I won't fight you. Oh, he shot the spider. Come here. Oh, I'm about to attack the... What is he fighting? This is perilous! I'm running away.
Lamamberg was
They
in shambles.
won't me so
The
bad.
Withers had been killed, but not before causing
They
even
cut out the
more
awkward part where
damage.
Techno misplaced the
The
skull.
land was disfigured. Once a nation, a home, was now nothing but a crater. The people of
This
Lamamberg
past
hoped
life
the
is
world was
paved
wondering
with memories.
why, but they would never get their answer.
You
Dream and
turd.
Techno
Yeah,
fell back
that's
into
what I
the
thought.
shadows
Sit
and
down.
accomplished everything they set out
Come
to
here,
do.
you. Not so
And
tough
with
now, are
this,
you? Not so
the
tough
war
now, are
was
you?
finally
Not so
over.
tough now, are you? Huh.
Bugtopia had lost. Manberg had lost.
Ow.
And the only winner was chaos. Over the next few weeks, the people would begin to
What's
build a
down
new
here?
Lamamberg.
Oh, block.
Filling in the crater with water, new life began to emerge from the everlasting scars of its creator. Tubbo would remain the president of this new land, hoping to bring unending peace. But in his quest to abolish conflict, one
I'm gonna
action
fight this guy
would
with only
separate
snowballs.
the inseparable. Tubbo would exile his own best friend.
No. How many does it take?
Thank you all so much for watching.
This is
Make
not
sure to
working.
Subscribe if you haven't already to get notified when the next part comes out. Also, make sure to go check out my new merch for just the coolest designs ever. And finally, comment down below
Good video,
your thoughts
man.
on the video and what you think can be better. Anyway,
There we go.
I hope you all have an
Oh,
amazing
he dropped
rest
a
of
cool
your day,
bow.
and I'll see you all
Arrow
in
of
the next
slowness.
video.
Cool, but only one. They don't do damage.
Nobody
Oh,
had noticed Wilbur sneaking away from the crowd.
why are
Alone.
there so many criminals
Wilbur
here?
entered the
Get
detonation
out!
chamber.
Do not blow
And
up
the
my
single
spruce
button
trees.
stood in the
Get.
middle of the room, had the power to
Get.
destroy it all.
The thing that I built this nation for doesn't exist anymore. The thing I worked towards doesn't exist anymore. It's over.
Die! Goodness,
There was a
that was
saying, Phil, by a
almost bad.
traitor.
Did you drop
once
something?
part of
Oh,
Lamamberg.
gunpowder.
It was never meant to be.
I would kind of like the
Oh my God.
gunpowder.
Wilbur had destroyed everything. The single press of a button had decimated all of Lamamberg. Technoblade, who had fled the scene as soon as his withers were killed, was nowhere to be seen.
The merch design is ass, but awesome video, buddy.
As the people marveled at their
I
lost
didn't look,
land
I wasn't
in
paying
disbelief.
attention. Shoot.
But this was no time to mourn. Tubbo, being the
YouTuber
new
merch
president
tends to
of
be
Lamamberg,
horrendous.
took it upon
If I
himself
was ever
to
in the
take
position to
inventory
make
and
merch,
begin
I would
rebuilding
not
their
plaster my
nation.
face on it, I'll tell you that much.
Gathering the remaining allies of Lamamberg, Tubbo elected his cabinet and made his first executive order. Starting the next day, the people would begin to rebuild Lamamberg on stilts above the crater. By leaving the destruction visible and keeping L'Manberg as peaceful as possible, the people hope to never let their nation fall again. The day of the war came and went, and the next day,
If I had money in the
Reconstruction
following, I'd just
began.
make good merch or pay qualified people.
Everyone logged
See,
on
that's
to
the thing.
server to help.
They like
Tommy
try to make it as
immediately informed of
obvious
the
as
plans,
possible that
met
like
with
it is
Tubbo in the
YouTuber merch,
L'Manberg
and I feel like
embassy.
that should be the opposite
There,
of what you
Tubbo
do.
explained how L'Manberg
I
would
feel
be
like the
rebuilt
whole
and
thing is
his plans of keeping peace.
yeesh.
However, Tommy had something he wanted to say as well. The night before, Tommy had found
least
out
it
that
hasn't been a
Quackity and
bottomless
Tubbo thought
cavern
he was
in
the
any of
traitor
these.
before it was revealed to be Techno and Wilbur.
There we go.
Then, Tommy recalled that in a previous skirmish with Dream,
Got it.
Tommy and Tubbo managed to team up once again to reclaim one of his discs, Mellow High.
Goodness,
And
the
now,
discs
to show
are
the true extent of his trust,
big part of this.
Tommy gave Tubbo the disc. Over the next few days,
I wish Josh
a new
Horn shipped
L'Manberg rose
worldwide.
from the
Oh,
shadows
did you
that
not
once
get
preyed
one?
on him.
If it makes you feel better, I
And with
didn't
the plenty
either.
of L'Manberg and a cabinet he could trust, Tubbo began his first
Put
term
this
as
here.
president of New L'Manberg.
That's why
Following
Ted's
the
merch is one of my
explosion
favorite
L'Manberg,
lines. The
Wilbur
milk
ordered
merch?
Philza, who had just logged onto the server for the first time.
I guess it is kind of hard to tell
kill
it's YouTuber merch. Personally,
But
it wasn't
although
my
he could technically just
favorite, but that
respawn,
doesn't mean it was bad.
Wilbur would not be coming back.
I was
At
doing
least
more
not as
modding stuff
Wilbur.
for him back then, so I
In
got
the Dream
the
SMP
milk
story,
merch for
there
free.
exists a canon life system. This system
I think
is put in
Schlapp does
place
a
to
really
give
good
the
job of
story
his.
more
That
weight,
like varsity
and to
line he
ensure that
did
the deaths
was
which
really
are
good.
important to
Like
the
pool
story
hall, I
feel
still have
important.
both of my free pool
Upon
hall
joining the
merch
server,
things.
every player
Not
is
gonna lie
given
to you.
3 canon lives. This essentially means that if a character has a death that is used to progress the story, it will count as 1 canon death. Once a character
Oh,
uses
that's
up
the
all of their
system.
canon lives, that character is considered dead in the story. For good. Both Tommy and Tubbo
Forever.
have only one
Bleh.
life remaining because of Eric's betrayal, Tommy's duel with Dream, and the Manberg Festival. And Wilbur, having ordered Phil to kill him, had lost his
That
final
balding
life
man went off
in
with
the
pool
story.
hall. See, I saw some of the
in
like
his
designs
place
that they were
arose a
going to
new
do,
character.
and the direction
The
was
day
so
after the
unclear
war,
because he
Wilbur rejoined the
wanted
server.
it to be like
But this
just
time, he
merch
was
for
different.
gamers
He
to like actually
was a
wear
ghost.
outside, but so many of the designs were like, I would not wear this
Ghost was
outside
not a
of my
normal
house.
character on the Dream SMP. Being a mere shadow of
Why
Wilbur,
won't grass grow on
Ghostbird
these?
has a
Can anyone
limited
help
thought
me?
Process and questionable memory.
It's in the
He
sun.
doesn't remember sad moments and doesn't understand that people can be bad. Because of this, he sees
Do
the
I need to
best
put
in
bone meal on it before I
a
plant the
harsh
bushes? Is that
contrast
the
to his
logic?
old self. Ghostbird lives in a sewer under a crane in
Because I
New
hand
L'Manberg,
placed them?
and
Wait,
holds a
really?
library
I
with
need to
many
connect it
important
to a
books from across the
grass block.
server's
I
history.
see. I need
With
grass
his time on the
nearby.
server, all
Oh, I
Ghostbird
don't
hopes to
have a
do is make new friends and build up the city to be the best it's ever been. But Ghostbird
Silk
wasn't
Touch.
the only new character to join the
Shoot.
SMP. Rambo, a viral
Well, that'll be
sensation.
something to do later.
Blowing up on TikTok because of his unique voice and comedic character, Rambo managed to amass
Unique voice? I guess I've
150,000
never heard Rambo
subscribers
talk
on
before.
YouTube in the first month and a half of his channel.
Whoa.
Replicating this success across
Did
Twitch,
anything get in?
Twitter,
No.
and of course, TikTok, Rambo took the Minecraft community by storm. During one of his Twitch streams on the server Hypixel, Rambo began joking about running for president of L'Manberg without even playing on the SMP. But then, out of the blue, Rambo got a message from Dream inviting
Out of the
him to
blue?
join the server.
I don't
Being
think that
new,
counts as being
Rambo
out of the
vowed to lay
blue.
low until he clocked more hours on the server.
It was quite
But to
literally
his surprise,
azure, if I
this
do say
plan
so
would take
myself.
a turn for the worse the very
Ugh.
next day.
I have coffee hiccups.
Tommy and Rambo met the day Rambo joined the SMP, but only exchanged a few words. After Tommy rage quit, realizing he was still the youngest on the SMP, the two wouldn't speak again until the next day. On November 28th, Tommy logged on with a plan. During the Manberg-Pogtopia War, George, pretending not to know what was happening, built a house throughout the entire war.
That's cute.
This house resided in the Greater Dream SMP and was made to resemble a hobbit home from Lord of the Rings.
That's really cute.
Today, Tommy planned to recruit Rambo to help him rob George's house because it looked depressing.
Oh.
I went into there. It's sad. It's
Oh.
just depressing.
I
And
guess
after
I
some
liked it.
preparation, the two began to rob and grief George's house. Things got a bit out of hand as they ended up burning parts of the roof and bridge outside. And without a care in the world, the two ran from the pillaged house unseen. But unbeknownst to them,
This would be
this
exhausting.
was the final straw. Over the past weeks, people have been reporting griefings and pranks on their property with signs that match exactly how Tommy talks. And
Hold on.
although no one had seen him do it,
I'm
it
trying
was
to
apparent
take
that
a swig
he
of
was
my
the
coffee.
one doing the griefing.
Herb
Now,
moment.
because George had been made king of the Dream SMP in place of Eric, who was dethroned, Tommy had directly
Herb.
attacked the Dream SMP faction by
That was
griefing
such a
George's
good
house.
Josh moment.
Upon seeing the house practically destroyed, Dream was enraged, and he knew exactly who had done it. He quickly made his way to L'Manberg. Taking a look at the already rebuilt nation, Dream decided there was only one thing
Those
he
shaders that
could
they
do.
have on are actually very
If
pretty.
they wanted freedom,
I should play with
they
shaders sometime.
could have it. But no more would he put his own citizens at risk of people like Tommy.
What
If
should
they
I do for
wanted
the floor?
walls, they could have them. Mere minutes after Tommy ended his stream, Nikki arrived at L'Manberg only to see Dream surrounding the country with an obsidian wall. Word quickly spread, and soon everyone who was online showed up to see what was happening. Dream exclaimed that he was marking their borders, and when asked
You like the
why,
snow?
he
That
told
would
the
be too
people to
cold.
talk to Tommy. Nikki quickly realized what had happened. She and Captain Puffy, who was also new to the server, had seen what Tommy and Rambo did, and proceeded to inform the others of their actions. Following this, the people,
could do like
led
this.
by Rambo, who denied all involvement with the griefing, observed the damaged house.
What do we think?
Tubbo
That's
was
kind of fun,
especially
huh?
angry, questioning why he even made Tommy vice president in the first place. With this, Tubbo and Fundy decided to gather all of the members of the cabinet to discuss their options the next day. And as the sun set, the people logged off once again,
Oh, this looks like
fearing for the
warm,
safety
doesn't it?
of their home. The next day,
Oops.
everyone logged on
That was
and prepared
unsatisfying.
for the meeting.
Look
Tommy
at
saw
that,
the
that's
walls
kinda
for the
cute,
first
huh?
time and stared in shock as he realized
I
what
love
he'd done.
Dark Oak.
Meeting in the Camar van, the cabinet discussed the situation.
Dream has built rules around L'Manberg, which is obviously not okay. And he's claiming that all treaties are void, seeing that we overthrew the government the treaties were made with. However, I don't think this is done without motive. I feel like someone in this room has done something, okay? Because we're the people of power. And if he wanted to hurt L'Manberg, he'd hurt the people of power.
I think
That's
I'm
us.
gonna have to do
So
another
someone in this
line
room,
of this.
I reckon's aggravated him. Tommy, what have you done?
Do I look like a guilty man to you?
I'm gonna be honest, Tommy. This has your name written all over it.
George came in here and said that his house burned down.
Hmm.
Did you have anything to do with that?
That's such a shame.
Anything? Did you have anything?
No.
You are.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Really?
With the meeting going nowhere and Tommy denying all involvement, the cabinet decided to talk directly with Dream to uncover the truth.
Hey, Dream. I'd like to start by pointing the attention to the elephant in the room, being the
Does that
massive
look nice?
obsidian borders you've put up. I would like to know if there was any.
Can't believe I'm
motive,
still
any kind of-
molding over SMP Live.
A while ago.
Are you?
Yeah.
I'm
To me,
sorry.
Those treaties mean nothing.
Let go of
because you are a new
stress.
government. You have taken over the old government.
Heal
You
from it.
Disregarded the old government's law, and you took it over. Now, I didn't
It's
really
okay.
care about this
Okay.
until our
So,
king's
Dream.
vacation home was burnt down by Tommy. I want Tommy punished. I want something
Is that
to
a
happen
Discord
to
thing?
Tommy for what
Oh, that
he's
was on
done.
the video,
If
wasn't it?
nothing is done, the walls will expand.
Does this look kind of
and
cool?
voila.
I think
The
it might be a
conversation
lot of
continued,
fences,
with
but it
Tommy
kind of
denying
looks
everything.
appropriate. Josh went
And
live.
so Dream decided
Ah.
to attack alone.
Nah.
He did this,
You're the
didn't he?
president.
Uh,
He did.
this is
And I know
cozy,
you
isn't
want
it?
peace, and
I
I
do.
have no
I just
problem
gotta
with
work on my
really
torch
hope
placement. I
we
gotta
can
put these
resolve this
somewhere
peacefully.
nicer.
I'm sure we can, but Tommy, he's not peaceful at all.
No.
And as long as Tommy's vice president, there can't be peace. My suggestion is that you exile Tommy.
Wow.
Get him out. That's all I have to say, though.
Tubbo was
Nyeh.
completely
There's
divided.
caramel at the bottom
He
of my
knew
cup.
Tommy had done it, and also knew that listening to Dream would be best for the country. But if Tubbo were to exile Tommy, he would also be betraying his best friend. And so, after a quick discussion with Fundy and Quackity, they decided to take Tommy to court.
Fireplace would go
to
hard
make
in
their
this room?
official decision.
Oh, you think so?
The two sides presented their case and
I'm proud of
eventually
this. I
agreed
think
to
that this
put
looks really
Tommy on
cozy,
probation,
actually.
stripping him of his powers as vice president of LeMay.
Caramel, sorry if the sound of
All
me eating
seemed
that
to
was
be resolved.
unbearable.
But Dream
I'm gonna quick
was
move
not
my
satisfied.
bed to be in here.
What do you mean probation isn't enough? He's been stripped of
That's
all his
not
power.
enough.
I know you suggested
not
exile,
enough.
but hear me out, okay?
But listen, Tommy is Tommy. He's never gonna stop. Like he already said, his goal is to piss me off. And if you want that as somebody in your nation, that even if he doesn't have power,
Listen to me. This.
Tommy, you've done enough damage for today.
No, listen to
You
me.
have-
I do
There we
one
go.
thing, which I'm more than well in my free rights to do. We have no correlation
could
with the Dream
put,
SMP anymore.
you know, Tubbo.
And I
You know
do
what?
this,
Actually,
and this is how you react.
you don't want to. You don't
I
want
do
to
have some wool. I could quick make red. Alright, chat, do we think that I should end?
Do you not give him
that's
that?
fine.
Tubbo, I gave you that disc for you to prove to you how much I
Tommy,
trust
there's one big difference between you and Dream. Dream isn't the vice president. And you are. Actions have consequences. There'll be a meeting on the
Gonna tune
2nd
into
of
Josh. You know what?
December.
I actually
Ooh,
really want to
solid
watch that
treaty,
stream
ooh,
too.
December 2nd. The members of the cabinet had decided to hold off on making their decision.
Alright. I will be back live later today. Because now I don't work, so. Yeah. We still need to do the Kahoot. Only once we finish the entire thing. I hope all of you have been paying attention. Did we have fun? Was this a fun stream? I had a good time. Oh, there's 30 people here. Wow. Thank you everybody for coming. Should I raid Josh or Bird? Josh or Bird, one or two. Good stream, kind of cozy vibes. I'm glad. I want to, you know, actually make something decent. You know? I need to work on my streaming skills. Josh. Alright, here. I'll send you over. Sending you his way. Don't go there on your own. Be part of my raid so I don't look like a loser. Alright, I will be watching in chat too. I'm really excited for this stream actually. So, goodbye. Thank you for coming. I'll be live later.